What are you laughing at?
You're up.
Turn it up loud. The Jay Thomas Show is on the radio at Indy 104. Kevin Meaney back in New York. What's the temperature back there, Kevin? What do we know? What's going
12 degrees.
Any snow back there?
No.
No, it's just
precipitation.
the polar vortex.
I saw that today. I saw that used. You said it yesterday.
Yes.
And what is a polar? What is that? A polar?
Well,
vortex?
It means we're all going to die, Jay.
Yes,
No,
it does.
Hypothermia.
The way the media is telling what they're telling people here in the Northeast is, if you go outside, you will die, and you can't stay outside for very long. Otherwise, you're going to die.
But no
it's
joke.
32 below zero in Detroit.
Okay,
All right,
I guess
other people have it bad.
You can die. You can die in that, but not here.
When I was getting my Metro card this morning, I swear my fingers almost snapped off, and they were only out of their gloves for
Minneapolis,
3 seconds.
minus 48.
Okay,
yeah, we know.
That's
we
dangerous.
Know. We feel
but
terrible for those people.
It's 12 here.
But, yeah, we're
not
not
that
used
bad.
to this.
Well, is the wind blowing?
Yes, and that's the problem.
Well, then that's zero.
Yeah, it's probably below zero.
Not
probably below zero with the wind chill.
Canadians, that's.
I know.
I think zero in Celsius is like 48 degrees or something. I've never got
Up at my house, it was 8 below this morning.
Here's what I don't get about Celsius and Fahrenheit. If 32 degrees in Fahrenheit is freezing, and 0 degrees is freezing in Celsius,
yes.
Okay? So why wouldn't you just add 32 degrees to every number of Celsius, and that would be the Fahrenheit temperature? But it does not work that way. It's complicated.
It doesn't. Very complicated.
So it's 10 degrees Celsius.
Mm-hmm.
That should be 42 degrees, Fahrenheit.
And what is it?
But it doesn't work that way.
What is 10 degrees Celsius? I don't know.
I don't know either. I have no idea.
I have no idea.
I have the faintest idea.
I know if you're doing
Tulsa,
120,
Oklahoma,
you're doing 120.
Tulsa, Oklahoma is like wind chill of minus 12, minus 15, something like that. It's Chicago has a real temperature of minus 16 and a wind chill factor of almost minus 40.
Wow, you're really up on your temperature. Yeah, Ira would be very impressed with you.
Oh, he would be. They're expecting 6 feet of snow in Buffalo.
I know they have a blizzard warning up there in Buffalo, and then up in Watertown, and all this snow comes off the lake. It's called lake effect snow.
I was a DJ just for like a month in Buffalo. It didn't turn out well. I was replaced by Sandy Beach, who was a famous DJ there. May still be, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a hotel right on the lake there, maybe a Sheraton or whatever back then. The radio station was in one of the upper floors of the hotel. They put me in a room. There was two restaurants, a coffee shop and a nice restaurant. Mm-hmm. There was a gym. There was a swimming pool. And there was tennis courts inside of this giant hotel. Mm-hmm. And I think I left the hotel one night. I think I went to downtown Buffalo to see what was going on.
So you never had to leave the hotel? You lived there?
Never.
Broadcasted?
No, I got up at, 3 in the morning and did the radio show. And then...
How long did your contract last in Buffalo?
I was actually there to cause trouble so they could bring in this other DJ.
Oh, so
and there's a town near Buffalo called Depew. It's a suburb.
Yeah, I know Depew.
So I'd read commercials, and I would say, well, it looks like everybody there in Depew this weekend, they'll be going over to the stadium, the home of the Depew Stinkies, and and that's all I said, the Depew Stinkies. And every time I talk about them, I would go, it's amazing, their mascot's a little skunk, which none of this is true.
Right.
And here's what's weird. No one had ever in Buffalo, ever, said anything about the town of Depew.
Why were you making fun of Depew?
It was funny to me. It was stupid.
Oh, okay. So you had no agenda. You were just having fun with Depew.
When I went to Los Angeles, Rick Dees sent me a note and welcomed me to town and everything else. And, of course, I immediately, tear into him and, attack his family. And his son was over, I said, if I had a kid that fat, I wouldn't take it out to a parade,
God.
And all that stuff. And
why do you say things like that?
Well, that's what I did. So Dees sends me a note. He says, I thought we were friends, and I can't believe the things you're saying. And I go, hey, man, this is my act. This is what you do. I like you. You're a fine person, but you're in my way. I need to get to number one here to keep my job, right?
Well, Howard would do the same things. I mean, that was like the one thing that I never really liked.
I don't understand. Howard would go, I don't understand. I'm being funny. I'm just telling a joke. And I said that your, retarded sister, I'd like to have 4 guys fuck your retarded sister. I don't know why you're upset, and all that stuff. I know. He used to make fun of the retarded Kennedy girl all the time. I don't know why he picked on her.
Yeah.
But what he was famous for was a plane crash in Washington, D.C. And he was at a D.C. station, and it was a real tragedy.
Was he fired from that station because of that?
I don't think he was fired.
I don't think he said anything bad about that, did he?
Yes, he did. He called the airline, and he asked them what was the price from Dulles to the river. What was the price?
And the people that died in that crash. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I remember that crash, yeah.
What was the price? How much from Dulles to the river? When you're on and he was very lucky. I mean, he did get fired at NBC and then, replaces me at what became K-Rock. Mm-hmm. But, not all of us are that lucky. So I would never go, that far. I would do some, but anyway, something as silly as the Depew Stinkies. Well, this town goes crazy and they get all mad and they call the general manager. So here's a guy in Buffalo who's the general manager.
Right. What was his name? I know him.
Never had a day's trouble. They're all the same person. Every station ever worked at. The program director, if I wrote a movie about radio, I'd use 2 actors. One would play the general manager and one would play the program director. And let's say I worked at 5 stations. Mm-hmm. Every station you went into would be the same guy.
Yeah.
They were the same person. Uptight, like to go out at night and drink with the sales guys and all of this. Program directors, uptight. Making sure that you play the records properly and you don't go past 6:22 without, running some promo or some. I even now when I in these little shithole markets like San Luis Obispo, Channel 12 News, Action News. If you live in the Central Coast and you don't watch Channel 12 News, you won't know what's happening. I don't think there's another station there. They're like promoting, they're the only station in San Luis Obispo. Mm-hmm. And then I'll have to do this when these announcers, we have Channel 3 here in Santa Barbara. Terrible. And there's Channel 12 or something in San Luis Obispo. They don't have any acoustic integrity in their studios. So the announcers, and first of all, there's some poor woman who does the early morning news. She always looks sleepy, never has any makeup on, and just looks absolutely awful. And the microphones it's like this. Well, good morning. Here in the Channel 12 studios, we're going to see some slight weather. Let's go over to Bob Johnson. Oh, thank you, Bill. Last night, what a great game. The microphones don't have any integrity. Are
they just like, not placed properly?
I don't know.
They're down on their waist opposed to their up on their
I think
breast.
The room is not made for a television
I used to always like to see they would put the microphones, like if there was a weather girl, she would have like really big breasts, and they would put 2 microphones on one on each breast. You remember those days?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, no, we have to put 2 microphones on you. Oh, why do we have to do that? Because you have
big old jugs on you. So I say this stupid thing about Depew, and I get off the air, and I'm, heading down to the tennis court. And the general manager comes out. Now, the owner of the company, Richie Ballsbaugh, who had run the company from Boston and was the owner and was a complete wild man. He and I used to go out, hang out together, and just have a great time. Mm-hmm. So he had hired me. So there wasn't much this general manager, could do, right? He couldn't really, and I worked in Boston also. So, he was, walking on eggshells around me going, we have to do something. The mayor of Depew and the school was very upset and everything else. And I go, well, don't people make fun of Depew all the time? He goes, no one's ever done anything about it. Mm-hmm. I go, that's the dumbest. I said, it would be like having a city called, Shit Stain, and no one ever mentioned it, Shit Stain, Iowa. So I go out to the high school, they pack the high school, and I have to have 2 armed guards from the Buffalo Police Department. I'm not joking. Now, I had just
And
got
you have to go out there to apologize, or?
Yeah. Which is a great bit, right?
Right.
So I go out.
Did you bring the deaf interpreter with you?
No, I didn't. But I am not going to stay in Buffalo. Mm-hmm. But if I were going to stay in Buffalo, I would have been number 1 in another, 2 rating books, right? Mm-hmm. Because I'd already caused more trouble in Buffalo than they'd ever heard of. So I get on the stage. The stadium is packed. The gym is packed. They're booing me, which is the greatest thing that can happen, mm-hmm. right? Hatred is the greatest ratings driver of anything. Like when Bob Grant...
Maybe for a radio host, but not for a comedian.
Maybe not. But for a radio host, you put down, some ethnic group or whatever, and you rate... I mean, look at Fox.
Right.
It's gigantic.
Yeah.
It's huge for broadcasters. When people turn on
Duck Dynasty,
Fox... Yes. But when you turn on Fox, you know what they're talking about. Mm-hmm. You know who they mean.
Yes.
When Obamacare is not working, mm-hmm. and when, they don't like the unemployment thing extended another 26 mm-hmm. weeks, and they don't like people on welfare and all, you know who they're talking about. There's no doubt in anyone's mind. And now here's the weird thing. The Republicans are losing ground in elections, yet Fox, their numbers don't move an inch. So it's really kind of odd that, there's probably more liberals that watch other liberal, channels and all that stuff. And Fox is really the only conservative channel. So now, meanwhile, back in Depew, I start to speak, and the place is going crazy. Screaming and yelling and everything else.
We hate you.
Booing and everything else. And I think I brought a cutout of a skunk with me, a little picture of a skunk. And I have it hidden.
Just to fan the flames, right?
I have a stick, right?
What do you have a stick for?
I have a stick on a cutout of a skunk. I can hold it up, right? So I have it hidden in a bag. I carry this bag with me. Because I was always a prop comic.
And how old were you at this time? You're 30?
Or? Oh, in my 30s, yeah. I'd been in New York. Mm-hmm. I'd been on,
so you were a DJ in New York. You were already on Mork and Mindy and everything,
I'd already
right?
been on Mork and Mindy.
Right,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. I was well known.
Yeah.
And now I'm in Buffalo working for a month. Mm-hmm. I mean, my career was, is where it always has been. And so, I guess they're recognizing me from whatever, from Mork and Mindy and all that. So I give this heartfelt thing, and they get all quiet and everything else, and I go, I had no idea, blah, 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 blah. But I said, I just wanted to say that I will always carry with me, near and dear, your mascot, and thank you very much. And I pull out this skunk, and I hold it up, and I go, Stinky. The place goes crazy. They were laughing, but they were throwing programs and stuff. The 2 cops that they hired, were laughing too, but they get me out of there, and we get into the van, and we go back to the radio station, and the general manager is white. He turned white. And so they go on the air and they say that they fired me. because of all of this stuff. And then Sandy Beach comes in and he works. So that was that. But
so that got that rating book up in Sandy Beach. A good.
But this is what I remember. It was as cold as it is now in Buffalo.
Yeah.
I remember looking out of this hotel out at the lake, and there were like, I guess icebergs and crap. And, and I remember the guy said we have a 100-inch snowpack, meaning from where the ground was to the height of the snow that was frozen on top or whatever.
They're going to get 3 feet of snow today in Buffalo. So, I mean, that's a lot. And then Watertown is also getting hammered. I mean, they've closed the thruway.
Do you know what the motto of Buffalo is?
The mistake by the lake. Right?
No. It's the good neighbor city.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Good neighbor city.
Yeah.
Why is it the good neighbor city?
Yes. Why?
Do you know why?
No, I don't. Oh, because of
it'll help. They help people.
Oh, they help people.
Like you're stuck, right? You're stuck in the snow, and they'll get out and they help you. And here's another weird thing about Buffalo.
You know what they do down here? If you're shoveling your car out, if you're you're warming your car up and you're shoveling it out at the same time, and then somebody will come by and put a gun up to your head and say, "I'm stealing your car." And that happened like 3 times.
All that work for nothing.
Did you read about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And right down the street from me on in the West Village.
I lived in Charlotte. I'd never driven in some light snow. I lived in Knoxville, and it snowed. I almost died in just a little light snow. So now I'm in Charlotte, and I don't know how to put chains on tires and whatever the hell, and I don't want to, buy tires. So I drive to work, early in the morning, and they haven't really started shoveling the snow or anything, and it's it doesn't snow that much there, so they weren't doing it at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. I get about a half a mile from the radio station, and I get stuck on the side of the road, and I can't move. And there are these trucks driving all over the place. This guy pulls up and says, "Hey man, can we help you?" And I go, yeah. So they hook up this big hook on the back of my car, and he hooks it all up, and he's going to pull the car out, and he goes, okay, $50.
Yeah,
I go, what?
Good neighbor state, yeah.
No, it wasn't. And I gave him $50.
Yep.
Thank God I had the money. Pulled me out, bloop, and that's what they were doing. They were just driving up and down, making money. That's also heart attacks go up.
Oh, yeah.
Big fat guy gets off the couch, gets a shovel, heart attack.
Well, I told you what my mother-in-law said to me once, didn't I?
No.
She called one afternoon, a big snowstorm up in Terrytown where we were living. What are you doing? I said, I'm shoveling the driveway. That's very good cardiovascular. And then my mother called me, like, right after I hung up with her. What are you doing? I said, I'm shoveling the driveway. You're going to have a heart attack.
Big difference.
Big difference, They're both, my mother wants me to live. The other one's, that's just terrible that he died shoveling.
In Illinois, over 450 vehicles stuck on the snowy stretch of Interstate 57 and 70 near Effingham. When I see a name like that,
Effingham?
Where do you live? It used to be fucking Ham. The name of the town was Ham.
Right.
And it used to be fucking Ham. I live in fucking Ham.
Yeah, I live in fucking Ham.
So to make it nicer,
Depew.
Yeah, they called it effing. How would you know? That's like a woman's name, BJ. Betty Joe, BJ. Christina, do you have this TV announcer who was saying the most horrible things? And
of course I do.
These people are so dumb.
Now, where are they from?
I don't know, but it's a Fox station, and it's a guy, and he's out in the field, and a 20-year-old woman is missing. And he's out in the field, and I think he thinks he's only talking to the cameraman, that it's just between he and the cameraman. And I believe that they had, now someone may have done this on purpose. He had done the report, and they had sent the report back, and this was a tape or a video. I can't say tape anymore. Video, and that isn't that right, Christina? They ran a video.
Yeah, I guess they didn't realize that he was live at the scene. He thought that there was
No, I don't think.
Really?
I think that he videoed it. The guy brings the video back to the studio and runs this.
Oh, okay.
So this is a guy, and by the way, when you hear a guy talk like this, you know all about him.
Okay.
All about him. I've said horrible things in my life. I've never said anything, like this. Here we go. So, what town is it? Do we know? It's a Fox station.
No, I don't know.
Fox 8. Somewhere.
Oh, I don't care if she's 20. Hell, I'd fuck her. You can't say you wouldn't fuck her.
Huh.
Maybe that's what I'll do when they find her. I'll go and fuck her. Fuck her right in her pussy.
All right, well, we definitely apologize for that editing error in that story. We are going to switch gears now to the prospect of peace talk.
He was doing the motions, too.
All right, hold on a minute. All right.
My God.
I just told you of the lack of integrity of the microphones in the little station studios. His microphone
Was very
out
good.
in the field is very good.
Very good.
You can hear the fan running. You can hear everything when you go. Let's hear it one more time and listen now to her mic.
Oh, I don't care if she's 20. Hell, I'd fuck her. You can't say you wouldn't fuck her. Maybe that's what I'll do when they find her. I'll go and fuck her. Fuck her right in her pussy.
All right, well, we definitely apologize for that editing error in that story. We are going to switch gears now to the prospect of peace talk.
We're going to switch stories now.
Thank you, Annette, very much. I appreciate everything you're doing. That is fabulous.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure his broadcasting career is pretty much over.
Yeah. I would say so. He'd have to.
Yeah,
He has to come over to Sirius now. Where you're free to speak that way.
Yesterday we spoke of this proposed book and people, Zambonis and meatballs and stuff like that. And people sent all sorts of potential titles, one worse than the other. I mean, we have perhaps the least talented audience I've ever in my life, broadcast to. But Peter has one. Now, but this is not the way I want to go. He said, your book ought to be called, I Almost Was Someone. No, you see, that's the opposite of what I'm trying to do here. What I'm trying to do is make them go, wait a minute. The guy that knocked the meatball off the Christmas tree, what the hell is that about? You know what I'm saying? That's right. That's what I'm looking to do. By the way, you ever watch that Moonshiners show? They drink moonshine, but these guys make dinner and they work in the kitchen, and I don't see how they're moonshiners and bootleggers if it's legal. I don't quite understand it, but we're going to have Tim Smith from the Moonshiners on.
Oh, great.
In a few minutes.
Oh,
and
I
I'm
can't
going to
wait
ask
to...
him, moonshine's legal now, or
it is
whatever.
legal? You can
It's got to be. They can't have a show, about real moonshine.
Well, you can't make alcohol in your backyard to sell to anybody unless you pay taxes on this.
I think
alcohol.
I think they pay taxes.
But you just can't, it has to be regulated by,
No, I think it is.
They're just like making it in some barrel, in the backyard.
Tim wants to get out of the illicit.
Bathtub. No?
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Tim wants to. Well, you don't need. That's if you live in Chicago in 19.
I just
28.
pictured this really old, gross bathtub and people.
No,
without
these
shoes
guys
on.
have major. No, they have big stills, giant. Every one of them lives in a great house. You've never watched the show? They all live in great houses.
No, I've watched a
For
couple
the holidays, all the men cooked, and they're all in these great kitchens.
Mm-hmm.
And then here's what they do. Well, there you go. There's my ambrosia. You know what goes good with ambrosia? Moonshine. They drink it, right? Tim wants to get out of the illicit business and spends much of season 2 making arrangements to go legal. He has an illegal
He's like
distillery,
the Godfather, you know.
in Lebanon, Kentucky.
Once they get to Vegas, they're going to be legal. He's
on TV every day.
Mm-hmm.
Tim's partner at the distillery,
a gay partner
who was working a contract position as a delivery driver, Chico, they found out he has a criminal record.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. Tim's right-hand man is a guy named Tickle.
Now, they're gay, right?
You know, why do you say that?
Well, his name is Tickle. Okay.
Well, don't say that to these guys.
Why not?
They kill gay people. They drown them in hey, you want to have some queer moonshine?
Yeah, I was doing this show the other day at the Comedy Cellar, and there was this guy from Tennessee. Moonshine. And when I mentioned that I was gay, God, did the body language on him just totally changed. Like,
I don't know why you do that.
Wanted to kill me.
Why do you do that?
Because it's part of my act.
Oh.
What do you mean, why do I do that?
That's just sad.
It's not just part of your act. It's part
I
of
don't
your life.
get up and go.
Part of my life.
I don't get up.
Right.
But wait a minute. Next time I go on stage, hey, I'm a heterosexual.
No, you talk about all your sexual exploits and you had sex with. Yes, you do.
How much your
constantly.
wife hates you.
You talk about it constantly. When I was younger and I used to boom, a hung, a hing.
All right, you know what? I've had enough of this.
Yeah, you can't face the truth. You can't handle the truth.
I tell you what, we're going to go away, and when we come back, we will have Tim Smith, who is an illicit moonshiner from the television show, The Discovery's Moonshiners, which is on tonight, by the way. Stay where you are.
Jay Thomas.
It's the Jay Thomas Show.
Afternoons. The Jay Thomas Show.
Are you kidding?
We were the hot new thing.
Jay Thomas.
Afternoons. Sirius XM 104.
I'm sitting in a moonshine joint, buying moonshine by the Jew.
That's the old moonshine
song. Sitting in a juice joint, buying moonshine by the Jew.
I'm sitting in a juice joint.
I done drink so much liquor, I feel just like a steel. Oh, baby. I've been drunk for a long day, and I'm just as high as a kite.
Sounds high.
I've been drunk for days, and I'm just as high as a kite.
And I signed all the rights away to this song.
I'm restless all day. I can't even rest at night.
Well, there's a white guy who has the contract tapping his foot, you know.
If you love your liquor, look what a wreck I'm in. Darling, if you love your liquor, please look what a wreck I'm
Christina,
in.
who is this?
These are the blues.
Ooh, I drink anything for moonshine, golden gin.
Wow.
Testify.
We're waiting for Tim Smith.
I won't argue last hound.
All right.
Please let whiskey
waiting for him to call us. They're going to call us in a few minutes.
Oh, yeah.
I just sent another message to his handler.
Because he's probably on the he's probably on the lam. You know, he has to go underground to take the phone call. He's got to be in a cave or something.
By revenuers.
I can't talk to you right now, Jay. You're chasing me. I got the moonshine in the back. It's crazy down here. I can't even tell you what state I'm in, but you know it's down south where we're all crazy.
You make me laugh like that. You know when you make a baby laugh and the baby goes, kids. Making little kids laugh is fun.
Yeah.
Yesterday I mentioned this guy, Kelly Oliver, who works way in, up there drilling oil or something in Moab, Utah. He says, I didn't hear the show, but every one of my copies of my book, Abstract Canyon, has sold out. I have one left. Do you want me to send it to you? No, I don't need it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Send it to,
Now, here's the weird thing. He's
Give it to the
sold out.
library.
He doesn't, I think he's so happy he sold out of them. It doesn't look like he plans on printing any others.
well, you know what you can do is the great thing is you can just make them an e-book, and it can live forever as a e-book.
Well, he says he wants to send it. You'll read it, won't you? Yeah,
No.
Send it to 1221 Avenue. Yes, you will. Avenue of the Americas. By the way, Christina, the Discovery Channel sent you a book, and you sent it to me thinking it was for me. It was for you.
Oh, really? Which book was that?
It's on pizza.
It said to Christina of the Jay
But I
Thomas
didn't
Show.
send you anything, so I think maybe
Oh, you didn't?
Garrett's
Oh, all right.
regarding my gift.
Oh.
Well, I recycled it already. It's just a bunch of nice pictures. You know what?
What do you mean you recycled it? I don't have that
No, I
much,
get
you
these-
know?
I get these books, and they're like picture books. You know, you recycle them. You know, you just, you know. Do we have Tim? Is that Tim on
Yes,
the
it
hotline
is.
down there?
Ooh.
All right. Let's welcome Tim from the Moonshiners show. Tim, welcome. How are you?
Hey, good. Kind of cold down here.
Where are you? Where are you? Where are you holding?
Maybe he's not allowed to say where he is because he's moonshine.
Where are you?
I'm in Virginia.
Now, my friend Kevin Meaney is here with us. Go to timsmithmoonshiners.com. You're starting your second season tonight on Discovery tonight. Is that right?
That'll be the third season, sir.
Third season. Now, your
Excuse us.
Climax Moonshine is available in all 50 states, but I read here that it's illegal. You're making illegal moonshine that's available. I don't quite get it.
No, I went legal back in May of this year. I actually got approved in January of 2013, so I've been legal about a year now.
Oh, good for you. Congratulations. Family must be very proud.
When
And
they
then
would show you producing illegal moonshine, did the feds come down there and talk to you? Because that's it's a pretty big show to be on, you know.
Sure they did. Yeah, they come down and investigated and looked around and just like they've always did. Yeah, they did do that.
Yeah.
They didn't find anything, though, did they?
No, they didn't find him.
No.
Well, many people do know this, but that's how NASCAR started. All those guys were moonshiners that would soup their cars up so they could outrun the revenuers, right, Tim?
That's right. Even a quote from Junior Johnson, one of the famous race car drivers from when NASCAR started, he always talked about that his fastest car was a car that he drove to haul moonshine, not the car on the track.
Mm-hmm.
It was faster than the track car.
That's right. Yeah, because it was illegal.
Now, when you were a kid, your dad was a moonshiner. Was your granddad a moonshiner too?
Not really. It goes off to another, not a direct line generation, but it's in the other side of the family there, but it's not directly with my father.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it said that you would help your dad hide moonshine in secret spots around the farm.
That's right. Yeah.
But not moonshine he made, moonshine he was going to drink.
No, that's moonshine that we sold.
Oh, you were
I know
selling
that
them.
you sold.
You don't do too much moonshine drinking if you're moonshine making. Don't get the makers mixed up with the drinkers.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what exactly is in moonshine? It's made very fast. It's clear, and you use corn.
And it's flammable.
What do you use to make moonshine?
Well, I use a combination of things in my recipe. I use a corn, barley, and rye. But a lot of guys just use corn and sugar in it. You can use just about any kind of grain or any kind of fruit. Mm-hmm. And basically it's just raw alcohol made real fast and illegally.
Mm-hmm.
But you're legal now. You've told everybody that.
Right.
And you're making this legal brew in your backyard still?
No. We're in Kentucky. We have a legal distillery in Lebanon, Kentucky.
Oh, okay.
And, we make Climax moonshine, and we're legal in 7 states right now, including Washington, D.C.
Mm-hmm.
Now, are there still illegal moonshine makers out there that just sell to their neighborhood?
Well, there is some, yeah, but most of the guys don't sell to the neighborhood. The ones that's, in the business to make money, you don't sell to your neighbor because you're going to get caught. Normally, it's run out of contracts and then carried out of state.
What about legal marijuana? You think about getting into the marijuana business?
No, don't have nothing to do with that.
What
never
about
have, never will.
What about meth? You thinking about opening up a meth lab?
No, that's just not my thing.
All right.
I can't make enough moonshine to supply the United States right now. I'm thinking if I get good at this, maybe I can supply China, and maybe we can pay them off.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be great. Now, I don't know if you know the guys at Duck's Dynasty, but one of those guys, spoke his mind. That's how he feels about, gay marriage and black people and stuff, and got in real trouble. Did they ever sit down with you and say, Tim, you guys at Moonshiners, whatever you really think about things, just be careful what you say in an interview? They tell you that? Huh?
In my profession, I've been in movie business about 14 years, so I've had a lot of media training in that. And normally,
wait a minute, hold it, go back. What movie? What do you mean, movie training?
Well, I've been featured in Rum Runners and Bootleggers and Moonshiners. I've been in Moonshine Madness. I've been in Moonshine. I've been in Hillbilly. I've been on the Moonshiner show. So I've been in the business about 18 years now.
So all the work that you've done is revolved around moonshining.
Everything I ever did was all around moonshine.
Even the movies and the TV shows, all moonshining.
That is correct. That's my whole life is all about making moonshine.
Who was the biggest star of one of those films? I don't know. I don't go to a lot of moonshine
Billy
films.
Cyrus, probably
Billy Ray Cyrus.
Oh, Billy Ray Cyrus was in a moonshine movie.
Yeah, he's from Kentucky, you see. He's just south of me in Kentucky there.
Mm-hmm.
Any gay moonshiners out there?
I don't know if there's anybody still alive, because so they find out they're gay, they'll probably have a problem.
Oh, you'll have a problem with that.
Yeah. Now, when you read about what happened to Phil Robertson, did it give you pause? Did you say, boy, we got to be careful?
Yeah. Just about any time you talk in the media, just like talking to y'all guys right now, you always potentially be entrapment.
Well, you're real safe here. You can say anything you like here.
By the way, Kevin Meaney.
I'm sure it'll be worldwide in probably less than 2 minutes.
Kevin Meaney totally agreed with Phil Robertson about what he said about gay marriage and the whole deal.
Yeah, I just sent him an anal bleaching kit.
Yeah, said, hey, we're with you. Well, Tim, good luck this season. I saw you guys cook for the holidays. I thought that was a little kind of weird that you guys were big moonshiners and you were all cooking dinner and stuff, but I guess that's okay. It didn't seem real manly to me.
Well, we have to eat, too, just like everybody else.
I know, but it was kind of, I thought you were going to be making beans. You know what I mean? Like, around the campfire kind of beans and stuff. You guys were really, What did you make for the holidays? You made some great food. What was your specialty?
A rump roast?
No, I didn't make anything. I made chicken.
Oh, you made a chicken. All right. Yeah. Hey, Tim Smith, tonight, every Tuesday night at 9 o'clock, his Climax Moonshine is available in all 50 states. Go to timsmithmoonshiners.com and watch Moonshiners on the Discovery Channel.
Jay, I bet after you have a couple of shots of that Climax Moonshine, I bet you climax real fine.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right, Tim? Me, you, and Tickle?
I've heard of some of that stuff.
Bing bong, walla walla wing wong, boom boom.
My favorite is your peach lightning. I love peach lightning.
You know what that peach stands for, right?
I know what it does.
Eat a peach.
Tim, thank you very much, Tim.
All right, take care.
Hamburger.
Tim Smith, there's the moonshiner. Now, what did he say when you said gay? He doesn't like gay.
No, they'd be dead before anything else.
They would be dead. They'd be hanging from an elm tree.
Something tells me Tickle hasn't come out of the closet yet.
No, Tickle's still in the closet.
Now, let's say
you know why they call him Tickle, don't you?
Let's say this was a well-listened to show. The guy just said that the gays would be dead. If there are any gay moonshiners, it would be dead. Okay? Yeah. They'd have to apologize. He'd have to go on the air, and the Cracker Barrel would have to pull his T-shirt down for like an hour.
I hope it happens. You know, we should actually tweet something out that we entrapped him for it. And he already said that, he's well aware of getting entrapped. Because he's been in the business for a real long time.
I said that you agreed wholeheartedly with Phil Robertson.
Yes.
You were right in there with Phil.
Yeah.
Let's go to Chicago.
We really were trying to entrap him. Just the
actually, we're trying to hold him down. And, you know what? We're trying to hold him down and pull his pants down is what we're trying to do.
Sure. God, I'd love to get a Moonshiners naked.
Yeah, especially because they wear the overalls without the T-shirt.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's hot. I like that. Out back in the woods, getting all crazy and lumpy with them.
You know what? I think you would need one of those dingleberry brushes before you got back there, because I don't think they wash like most people. Jason of Chicago, what is the temperature of the wind chill in Chicago now? Can you give us an on-site kind of a weather report, please?
Absolutely. We're in a warm front right now. We're 1 degree above zero for the temperature, but the wind chill yesterday was about minus 14. So it's pretty cold, but we're warming up here a little bit.
All right. Now, are you not at work? Are you at home? They've said not to go to work, not to go outside.
Have you strapped yourself in?
Well, no, that's an interesting question. I actually caught a nasty cold, and I'm going home early, and so I was listening to your show on the way home, as I usually do, and decided to give a call to see if I could share a little bit of a morsel of knowledge I thought you might appreciate.
Absolutely. Does it have anything to do with what's been going on to the show up to this point? Does it have to do with drinking or moonshine or something?
Well, it has to do with two of my favorite things, radio and drinking as well.
Oh, radio and drinking? Fine, go ahead. Sure, absolutely.
Well, we have a show on the Public Broadcasting Network. It's called Blues Before Sunrise, and it's hosted
you
by...
Have a show on, you have a show on PBS?
That's correct, hosted by Steve Cushing. And I believe it's almost in jeopardy now. I don't know if he's actually still doing it, but we used to listen to it for years. At get-togethers, playing cards and things like that. And he would go through a history of blues and do things like the Ice and Snow show and hits and responses. And he would make the blues so very interesting. And that little song, that riff to that song you were playing, made me want to share one that was very similar. And I wondered if I may do that.
Sure, go ahead. What is it?
It's called, What's the Use of Getting Sober If You're Just Gonna Get Drunk Again? And it just had a very similar sound.
Who sings that song?
I wish I could recall the artist, but it's been quite a while.
What's the use of getting sober?
What's the use of getting sober?
If you're just going to get drunk again. This is that's longer than my book title.
And it's a great song,
you know
That's
what?
the standard.
Now, for those of you out there that thought that my book title, The Guy That Knocks the Meatball Off the Christmas Tree, is too, This is, turn it up, Christina.
Louis Jordan.
Sober.
Oh, Louis Jordan.
If you're just going to get drunk again. Here we go.
Well, you guys are on top of it.
Getting sober.
They don't pay me the big bucks around here for nothing.
That's what I want to know.
Boy, you ought to listen to your old pappy. And stop drinking so much.
I ain't doing so much drinking.
Shut up, boy. You drink all day and you drink all night, and son, you know that ain't right.
Well, Pappy, you just give me a chance. I can...
Shut up, boy. Boy, you're looking thin as a twig.
I know that.
Look like to your dear old pappy you're about to blow your wig.
I ain't gonna blow my wig, Pappy.
What's the use of getting sober when you're gonna get drunk again? Old Sam done something fine when he brought back good whiskey, beer and wine. I love my whiskey and I love my gin. Every time you see me, I'm in my sin. What's the use of getting sober when you're gonna get drunk again.
Jason of Chicago, thank you for adding to the Jay Thomas Show. I appreciate it.
Thank you for taking my call. You've made my day, Jay, Garrett, and Christine. Have a good one.
There's an A at the end of that. Feel better.
Okay,
Garrett is not with us today. Garrett, again, he's calls in sick quite a bit. I think the man's depressed.
He's allegedly
highly
vomiting.
depressed. I know. And we have Dan. Is Dan?
No, his name is not Dan. Introduce yourself.
What's his name?
Go ahead.
Who is he? Who is that?
Yeah, my name's Taman. First day working
What's
here
that?
at Sirius XM.
Oh, this is your first day
first
ever?
day?
Well, sort of. I interned here for a while.
Oh, okay.
got
I thought
hired.
I just threw him to the wolves.
Yeah.
All right. No, you're fine.
Taman.
Yes.
So wait a minute. You were an intern and they hired you and they're paying you a salary?
I wish they were paying me a salary.
You fell for that one.
I love this place so much.
I'll talk to you after the show.
I really love this place so much. They hired him, and of course he's not making a salary.
So Taman, you went from intern to slave. That's what you did.
Fair enough. I think that's a fair assessment.
Wow. And your desire is to get into radio.
Yes. I just graduated college like 2 weeks ago.
Congratulations.
What school? What school did you go to?
Hofstra University in Long Island.
Okay, I know it. And were you a broadcast? I turn his mic up or get a little.
Or get a little closer to the mic.
All right.
Yeah. Were you a broadcast major? Did you major in broadcast?
Yeah, broadcast journalism. That was my major.
There's not really a lot of journalism here. I don't know if you have you listened to the show today at all.
I've been listening. It's a funny show.
I've acted and stuff, but I've been in radio since I was about 18 years old. So I've really never done anything, and I've never been called a journalist. But
well, you're up on today's events and everything. You know what's going on. Sure,
on everything. But I hope you learned something and keep your headphones going. And there are many people that admire me very much.
No, I've been listening to the show now for 50 minutes, and I like it. It's funny.
Oh, it's a funny show, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's a good show.
Good humor. I've been laughing over here.
Well, good. And we played the blues, and the people call up, and all of that stuff. So, now, what sort of show would you like? Would you like to be in a music show, or you want to do a talk show?
Either sports talk or politics talk.
Oh, well, they have both of those. Shows here on Sirius.
We do a little bit of both here on
We
the
do.
show.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, I don't really get into the sports thing. I kind of step back.
You can't be. You have to either pick a side. Are you right or left?
Am I right or left?
Politics.
Politics.
Yeah, no, I know in politics. Well, I'd say I'm in the center.
Oh,
you can't do that.
Never going to go anywhere like that.
I know. I'm a confused
You won't make a penny.
soul. Well, no,
totally agree
okay.
with Phil Robertson. Phil Robertson of Duck Dynasty.
Okay.
We totally agree with him.
I agree
in real life, we don't. In real life, but there are people that want us to agree with him, so we do.
I agree that he had a right to state his
Not all of us
opinion. I think everybody has a right to state their opinion.
Well, why don't you say it to Kevin's face? You don't think gay people are.
Kevin, I think you're a good person.
Thank you very much.
I'm a nice guy. I'm a good-hearted person.
Yes.
You know what?
That's not going
What
to
does
get you
that
anywhere
mean?
in this business.
Well, I'll put
I
it
don't know
like
what's He's very nice. He's a nice young man.
Even though I'm good-hearted, I can be. I like to debate people, so sometimes I will choose a side just to argue with them.
Wow. Your father
Sounds a lot
fucked
like
you up
me.
good. Your dad fucked you up.
You could argue that.
You don't get along with your dad, do you?
Oh, boy.
Oh boy, that's a tough
No, you
question.
don't. You don't. I know you don't. Listen, I'm a dad. You don't get along with your dad. I can tell right now.
How can you tell
pick a
that?
side.
There's a couch right there, Taman, if you need to lay down.
No.
How can you tell that he doesn't get along with his
You
dad?
ready? I'll tell you how I can
Okay.
tell. If
Tell
I was
me.
sitting in a couch across from you, I would ask if you were argumentative, and you would say, well, sometimes I pick a side, whether I agree with it or not, just to argue about something. That's what kids do with their parents. They will battle on a side that they're not even sure they believe in, but they want to beat their dad or their mom. And so, yeah, you've had some big arguments with your father.
Now, have you had big arguments with your father?
Yeah, he's pretty right on the money.
No kidding. Really?
Yeah, I've had arguments with my father. I have.
Who hasn't? He's
Yeah,
like a
well,
psychic.
But
working
no.
But I think that you knew somebody in your life with the letter A.
I don't use anything psychic at all. I don't think that I'm looking into his mind or anything.
Tell us more about
listen.
him.
My dad and I argue politics, and we argue sports. We've been doing it since I was about 11, 12 years old.
But
Well,
not
sports 12.
drag
I was in,
down,
high school.
you know,
Yeah, is
fighting.
he beating you with a belt? Is that kind of
No,
arguing?
I didn't say, no, I didn't say that.
Oh.
I just said that he argues with his dad. Now look, there are a lot of people that don't argue, with their parents. A lot of people. They keep their mouths shut.
No, I don't argue
Or-
with
know
my parents.
anybody like that?
Well,
Oh,
no,
I do.
Well,
not with my
yeah,
mother.
there are people that
God.
keep their mouths shut and don't argue, or
I just say, yes, mother.
they agree. They agree with their parents sometimes.
No mother.
Now, I would
Oh,
imagine,
Mother, I love you so much.
because you're a centrist, I would imagine that your father is probably conservative and your mother is not so conservative.
Well, no. My mom is more conservative. I probably am more like my mom, so I guess I am more conservative. Actually,
you know why
I
your
am.
mother is so conservative?
Why?
Because she was really fucking wild when she was young.
Oh my
You think I'm
God,
kidding
this
you?
poor young man.
You think I'm
No,
kidding
he
you?
doesn't need to go
to
through that.
everybody. It's fine. Yes, he does need
You
it.
go
No,
back. You go back
my-
and really delve. You delve into your
Don't
mother's
delve.
past.
Don't go there.
You will find a
Leave his
conservative
mother
woman.
alone.
Your mother disappointed her parents
Oh, no,
by
she
by
didn't.
getting
She's a
pregnant
good
before she
lady.
was married and having to give that baby up or having an abortion. That's why she's a conservative. Oh, yeah. You'll find that to be true. You'll find that to be true. Well,
Can we call
Tamor-
your mother and father now?
Is it Tamor?
You could.
Tamor?
Let's call them.
All right.
We're going to call them, Jay.
Is that a foreign name, Tamor? Is that from some country? Are you from?
It's Taman. Taman.
Taman.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
Taman. Are you from Tunisia?
No, I'm from Texas. I have Texas tattooed on my arm.
Oh,
Wow.
God, I'm
Well,
sorry.
that's
I
from Texas.
people from Texas
All right.
have a lot of
Hold
pride.
it,
in it.
hold it,
Don't
hold it.
mess
Time's
with
up.
Texas.
Time's up. 10 seconds. Time's up. You got to know when to stop talking, like I do. Like 1, 2, 3. It's over.
How much time do we have, Christina?
Jay Thomas. It's the Jay Thomas Show.
I'm my own man. I'll run this mother the way I want to.
The Jay Thomas Show. Afternoons. The Jay Thomas Show on Indy. Sirius XM 104.
When I step up in the place, take your watch step correct. All in check. I got that
Nervous?
shit that make you break your neck. All in check. And you know we come through to wreck the discotheque.
Let's welcome Rachel Garcia to the Jay Thomas Show with Kevin Meaney. Rachel, welcome. How are you? Happy New Year. How are things going for you, Rachel, before we start
Good, they're
an interview?
going great.
This interview could change your life.
I hope so.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So now, Rachel, you are selling a taxidermy chess set.
Yes.
Made, so when, and I play chess. Kevin, Meaney, is Kevin in the studio?
Yes, I'm here.
Do you play chess?
No, I don't. I always wanted to learn to play chess, and I never have.
It's actually an easy game to learn, you know, the moves, but the strategy is very, very difficult. Rachel, are you a chess player?
I'm not really. I'm not very good at it. I've played, but I'm not good.
So, tell me about your taxidermy chess set that you're selling. You're selling it on eBay? Is that where you're selling the chess set?
I sold one on Etsy, and I'm getting ready to mail one off in the next couple of days.
On Etsy.
That's
So,
second one.
I saw this during the holidays as a very unusual gift. So, you make like, you get little mice, and the mice are the pawns. Is that what you did?
They make up every piece in the set, so all the pawns are smaller mice. They're about an inch and a half tall, and then I use larger mice for all the other pieces, and they're dressed as all the pieces to the set.
Now, how did you learn taxidermy?
I learned it online. I looked up a YouTube video.
Were you unemployed and decided to go into something else? Said, well, I really can't get a job. My benefits are going to be out in 26 weeks. I need to learn something.
No, I work 40 hours a week on top of it. But
Wow.
I was my best friend makes crochet dolls, and we were doing horror conventions together. And I do a lot of sculpture and things like that, but I hadn't had anything that was selling. And one day my little brother was like, hey, I want to do an art show with taxidermy in it. Do you know anybody? And I said, I bet I could do that. So I decided to just learn how to do it. And
Wow.
So you get the little mice, and how do you kill them?
I don't kill them. They
Thank
come
goodness.
dead.
Oh, thank God.
They come dead.
Yeah, the same place you would order, I used to be a reptile keeper at a zoo, and we would order all of ours from a company. They just send them to you frozen, kind of like you buy chicken in the store. And they're
So
already
you get
frozen.
the little dead mice come to you.
Are they from New York? They're like New York mice that they catch in apartments and things like that?
No.
I'm not sure. I can't remember where the place is that actually sends them. But yeah,
What
they
about
just come in
gerbils?
bags.
Do you use gerbils at all?
I've not used any gerbils.
I was wondering if Richard Gere actually ordered any.
You know what?
He hasn't yet, but if he calls,
I really,
definitely fill that order.
Rachel, Kevin Meaney is a gay man, and it's just so weird that you would bring that stupid 100-year-old lie about Richard Gere up, and it really bugs the shit out of me when you.
Well, I apologize.
It comes up regularly with me. Actually,
I know it does.
They're rodents.
I don't believe for 1 minute that Richard Gere put a gerbil in his ass and let it die inside of him for sexual.
He let it die inside of him?
That's what the sexual.
I didn't know that.
As it's dying, it scratches at your prostate.
Oh God, you know too much
know
about that.
Rachel,
No.
do you know that's what it is?
I thought it was just a place to
That
go
sounds terrible.
for warmth.
No, the thing dies.
It's
and
just
it's
trying to go to the
scratching-
center of the earth. I didn't know.
It's
like
no,
when you
it's
put a
trying
dead
to-
almost dead
It's
animal
trying
in
to
the
get out.
freezer,
It's
and then
trying
it
to get out.
scratches at the
Yeah.
popsicles.
Oh yeah.
I don't speak from experience. It's an Everybody Loves Raymond episode, but still.
Oh. Now look. Now Rachel, you say, wow, your little brother says I want taxidermy art or whatever. You go online, you get these mice, and you split them open, and you get all the guts out of them and stuff. And what do you fill them up with?
It's cotton, like cotton balls wrapped around wire.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you make kind of like a little fake body, and you just replace
Do you have any cats? Do you throw the guts to the cats?
I do have cats, but I also have some lizards, and I have a friend that takes care of lizards that eat meat, and so I save them. And when I go to visit her, I bring them to her to feed to her animals, so I don't waste anything.
Right.
Good, that's good. Don't waste anything. That's what the Pope says.
So you make the little mice that are
waste
the
mouse guts.
The pawns, and then you have, do you use white mice for the white side and black mice for the black side?
Yes.
Wow, that's cool.
That's
And
racist.
so how many sets have you sold of taxidermy chess sets?
Two chess sets so far. I have sold some individual pieces that look like other things, but for the chess sets, I've just sold two.
Okay. And now what do you like there's the knight and there's what do you use from around the house to adorn some of the little pieces?
Well, the knights have some little metal shields that came off a bracelet that I found in Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
So now every time I go into Walmart, I have to buy one of these bracelets if they have one, just in case they ever run out. And
yeah.
the rest of it's little pieces of fabric and stuff that I had around.
And for the sword, knights carry a sword?
Yeah, it's a cocktail sword.
Cocktail sword?
For like a cocktail weenie.
And I paint the end of it where it looks a little more silvery.
Mm-hmm.
It should be painted the end of it, yes.
And what are we talking about? How much?
It was $450, and then the shipping on it was $50 because it comes with a board, so it's kind of heavy.
So for $500, you get a full chessboard with taxidermy mice.
And how many mice is that total?
32.
Oh my
32
God,
mice.
32 mice.
And then you sell the board.
$500.
You sell the board also.
Yeah, it's hand painted wood.
Wow. You know what? For a piece of art like that,
that's a good price.
For something that would really creep your family out, I think that is a value. That is an incredible value. So where can people who either want to now? Will you sell people one or two just little stuffed mice for their own enjoyment?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I currently am not selling. I have kind of a waiting list for the chess set, but everyone that calls and asks about it, I let them know that if they want to do a custom order, I'm willing to try and make anything. So any kind of dressed up mouse.
It says here you're going to be making Slash from Guns N' Roses and also Gandalf from Lord of the Rings out of a mouse, out of a dead mouse.
Yeah. Yeah, I did make the Slash, actually, of one of my very good friends. That's all she wanted for Christmas, because he's her favorite person ever.
And how did that turn out? Did it look just like Slash?
She was very impressed. Wow. So she liked it a lot.
Rachel, I'm glad you had time. What do you do 40 hours a week?
I'm a veterinary technician.
Oh, okay.
Oh, this all makes sense.
And do they know that you're stuffing mice back at your house?
They do, actually. Everyone at my work is very supportive, and a lot of some of the pieces I make have hair. And so if I'm off of work and they happen to shave a cat or something that has some interesting looking hair, they always save it for me.
Wow.
Interesting.
Well, what a great idea. Rachel Garcia sells taxidermy chest seats. Now, what is Etsy? I don't know Etsy.
Etsy is the greatest website ever.
It is?
Yeah, you can, okay. Rachel, please explain it, because it's your interview, not mine.
It's pretty much gives you kind of your own website to sell handmade things. So you can create an account and make a shop, and for 20 cents per listing, you can, pretty much sell whatever kind of stuff you make. You just post pictures and tell people about it, and then sometimes people pick it up and put it all over the internet and get interviews on radio.
All right. Thank you very much, Rachel Garcia. Go to Etsy and you will see her taxidermy chest sets.
What is it, just Etsy.com?
Yeah, do you have a username, correct?
Yeah, the shop name is the Curious 13.
So if you search that in the search bar on Etsy, it'll take you right to her.
The Curious 13. Okay.
And I've posted it on our Facebook page.
Or you can buy a little, like what would you sell me a little stuffed mouse for? With a sword and everything? How much?
Like if it were one of the chess pieces, it'd probably be around about $45 to $50. It kind of depends on how much detail is in it.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. It'd be fun
welcome.
to, I remember.
Could I order just a simple mouse on a stick?
Sure, I can make a mouse on a stick.
Okay.
I got in real trouble.
Why are you laughing?
Why
does he have to be on a stick? Why do you need
so I can hoist him up?
I got in, in terrible trouble in the third grade. In fact, I was forced to leave this little elementary school that I went to. I found a dead bird out in the yard during recess. So I took the dead bird and I brought it back into my third grade class, and I put it in the drawer of the teacher before the teacher came in. And so we're all there, and the kids all, knew I did it and everything else.
Oh, dear.
And, I was, 8 years old. I was a little boy. And here's the weirdest part of it. The teacher, unbeknownst to me, had this horror of dead birds. I'm not joking. Oh no, they threw me out of the school. I had to leave the school.
Well, how would anybody know that?
I wouldn't know it. Nobody would know it. But
what did she do when she opened up the drawer? Tell me, please.
It was so bad that it traumatized the entire third grade class of Lakeview Elementary School. It looks like a ghost town now. My brother lives a block away from it, and every time I drive by, it's all run down, and it's been closed for years.
Never really the same after that day where she opened up that drawer.
This woman screamed, shrieked, and she put her hands over her chest. She rammed her head into the blackboard and stumbled over the chair. Oh, it's terrible.
God.
And kids in the classroom, little girls, began to cry. Oh, yeah. Everyone went friggin' nuts.
Did she pick up the bird, or she screamed,
No.
Bird, dead bird?
First of all, they didn't know some didn't know what she was looking at.
Right.
So it was just an open drawer.
But some of the kids knew because you told them.
Yes, they saw me do it.
Put a bird in there. My sister, she opens up that drawer, she's gonna howl.
She runs into the hall, and of course, the classrooms are still filling up, and she has to be administered to. She is in real psychological trouble. In comes a male teacher,
Mm-hmm.
He comes into the classroom, and he picks the bird up by its,
wing,
by its
something, probably.
claw,
Yeah.
by
Oh,
its,
yeah.
its thing.
Yeah.
And when he brings it up out of the drawer, the kids that were not aware of the dead bird, they began to shriek. They went,
oh, I would go crazy.
well, within a matter of minutes, I was turned in.
It's him.
And brought to
That's him. That's that
brought
kid,
to the
John.
principal's office. And it was bad for me after that. She would lock me in this closet at lunchtime, and I didn't have lunch. Oh, it was bad. And then there were people that said that I looked like her dead son.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
really? What did he die of?
I don't know.
Oh, probably like a bird attacked him or something.
You know what's funny, though, when you hear about bullying or problems or whatever, I was always told by my parents to tell them what was going on or go tell the authorities or whatever. And so I went home and I said, look, I didn't tell my parents about the dead bird. I did not tell them that. But I did say she was locking me in the closet and that I looked like her dead son. And I was unhappy. And finally my parents
looked like her
got
dead
me
son.
a transfer from the school to a school closer to me.
Yeah, we
where
got to find
I
out
had
what
a
that
woman-
kid was died of.
Now oh no, we'll never know. What's weird is that I went to Oak Park Elementary, where a woman named Mrs. Reese had me for the 3rd grade and the 4th grade, and could not have been kinder. And so it worked out for me. And I think she knew I was damaged goods when I came into her classroom. But so that's it. So Rachel, as you can see, there are lots of people that if you if they open a box and there was a dead mouse in it, I think they might have a bad reaction.
Yeah.
Some people have a bad reaction to it. I've had people tell me, "Ooh, you're gross," and walk away.
I like it that people have asked you about Richard Gere, though.
It's come up a couple of times.
Yeah.
Now, Rachel, are you a single woman?
I am. I'm a single mom.
Single mom.
Yep.
And how old is the child? How old is the child?
She is going to be 12 years old in a couple of weeks, on the 25th.
Now, how does she feel about her mom stuffing dead mice and selling them on ST.com? Is it an interesting thing?
She loves it. Actually, if you go to that site, there is one little piece. It's not taxidermy. It's a little piece of sculpture, a necklace that looks like a little devil or something that she made. So she loves
Is
to do
this a
art
picture
too.
of your daughter, the girl with the black hair and the red streaks and all of the spikes in her head? Is that your daughter?
No, that's me.
Oh, that's you? All right.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. There you go. Rachel Garcia, thank you very much. The taxidermy chess set, see them on Esty. They're really interesting, made from the little dead mice. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm going to get a mouse on a stick.
For easy pulling.
You ought to have
And
a
pushing.
mouse with a big giant heart on.
What?
You ought to have a mouse that looks like Richard Gere.
I don't want to put that mouse in my butt.
You know what? You did not understand. By the way, the gerbil up the ass, this is how it works.
Okay.
They take a glass tube.
Yes.
They insert it into...
Or a toilet paper tube.
If not,
works.
no, not a
gonna
toilet.
work.
No. It'll scratch its way out. If not a gay person, a masochist.
Okay, first of all,
What?
gays don't do this, okay? This isn't something that gay people do.
Yeah, this is just butt play all around.
This is just
This
like
is
a
just-
weird
yes,
fucking
sick
thing,
fetish.
that somebody did, all right?
Here's what they did. They took a glass tube.
Okay.
And they would insert it into an anus.
Right.
They would take the gerbil or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They would put it, and it could walk into the glass tube and
Yes.
just continue forward. The glass tube was pulled out. The anal cavity would close around the animal.
Yes, you
and
know
it
a
would
lot about
scratch.
this.
It would no. It was
It's like putting
it
a
was
tampon in.
Talked about. It was talked about. I mean,
You don't
people
put
say,
a
well,
tampon in like that.
It's the concept with the tube, and you just get
You're
it
not
up
putting
there.
a glass.
No, not glass,
Hold it.
but it's just the
wait
concept
a minute.
of using an applicator.
Oh, now
To-
Wait a second. God, hold it.
The only thing that bothered him about this is applicator.
Hold it.
Explain, please.
What did you think happened, Kevin?
It's been around. It's been part of our culture for so many years that I really never even thought about it, except that, like when you see a mouse or a gerbil, you go, Richard Gere, I shock you with that. And now you are explaining the applicator, and I don't want to know about it. And gay people don't do this stuff.
Some people died from it or were horribly injured.
They died?
And,
of course they died.
Yeah. Because the thing would scratch their colon.
Or maybe go the other way.
Whatever. And it took a few minutes for it to die.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And then you'd fart it out. You'd fart it out.
That's gotta hurt.
Yeah, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, God.
Removal. Oof. There's no string
Let's go to
attached.
Chris of Texas. Chris, did you enjoy our taxidermy dead mouse chess set interview? Did you enjoy it?
Hey, Jay.
Yeah.
Hey, you ever listen to a talk show? There's like 100 people talking at the same time. You can't understand. It's like a train wreck. It's like, why do you let these guys talk, man? You're like a professional at this. Why you let these guys put 2 words in? Kevin Meaney, you gotta fire that dude again, man. Put him down to 1 day again. He just ripped in the show, man.
Really? He ruined the interview with the mouse woman.
No, okay, but I was trying to listen. It was just a train wreck. This guy just, you're trying to talk. He's talking over you. What the hell is up with that? You gotta shut the mic off when you're doing the interview.
You're right.
All right, I'll do that. Shut his mic off. Thank you, Chris of Texas. Thank you. Thank you. Now,
oh, God.
Tamil Tiger, is that your name, Tamil? Those are the insurgents. They're in Malaysia, I believe.
Taman.
Tamil Tiger. Oh, Taman? I thought
Taman.
it was Tamil Tiger. Tamil Tiger. By the way, I'd like many of you to look up Tamil Tigers, Tamil Tigers. And they were an insurgency, I want to say in Malaysia, and they were a vicious insurgency. And they caused trouble for like 40 or 50 years. And so about 5 or 6 years ago, the government troops trapped them in their province that they had control of. They drove them to the ocean. They drove them all the way to the ocean, and they wiped them out.
Oh, dear.
Oh, they wiped them out. They killed, 75 or 80% of them. And they had their hands in the air, and they were trying to surrender and all that shit. And the government said, you know what? You guys have been bad, really bad. And you've killed a bunch of people and everything else. And we are not going to put you in jail. We're not going to rehabilitate you, whatever. And they just continued the attack, and they killed them all, right? And sadly, that's the way you handle these insurgencies. We come in there, or the UN comes in there, and we stop what people have done for thousands of years to stop insurgencies. And that's why we keep having the trouble. That's why you keep having the trouble. When we send a drone and it kills a whole family, that's what that's what people do. Because you got to kill the mother, because she's going to have more insurgents, and you got to kill the little insurgents, right? And Barack Obama learned that in South Chicago. He learned that. When mobsters killed a guy, they'd have to kill his brother, they'd have to kill his son, they'd have to kill everybody. Mm-hmm. He learned that in South Chicago. So I just wanted to bring that up because I thought his name was Tamil. Just thought I'd bring that up. So, if you Google Eddie LeBeck, you'll see me playing goalie for the Boston Bruins with a lovely sign behind me in my final one of my final episodes on Cheers, it comes right off the television. But for those of you that are hockey fans, I've got tremendous position, and I've just blocked a puck, and that it was shot at me by a real Boston Bruin. And I have not sent I want to thank Alan for sending me that. It's the subject. Eddie LeBeck, you suck. It's called the LeBeck, you suck picture. So take a look at it. He says if you Google Eddie LeBeck, that's the image that comes up. All right?
Oh, I like that.
Did you see it? You see the picture?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I got it.
I sent you a copy of it. By the way, later on, we'll have Nicole Donnelly from Condomania.com. She is the president of Condomania.com. She has released a penis-size chart that lists every state and the sizes of the penises in every state.
Just in time to get me a
So
new
if you were
boyfriend.
planning on turning the show off, if the show sickened you, like Chris from Texas, please give us another chance. It's the Jay Thomas Show, sadly with Kevin Meaney, and we'll be right back.
The Jay Thomas Show. Afternoon.
Jesus. What idiots.
Indy. Sirius XM 104.
Big superstar quarterback who went on to be on, I think, the Colts or something like that.
James Mongrove?
Yeah, he played, I guess, for a little while, and then I don't know what happened, but he was, our big hometown hero. He was failing everything and starting every game.
What does he do now?
And I don't know. I think he's married with children, and I don't think that he can play anymore. But our coach was my English teacher was his coach. Every time he failed a test, we had a practice test and had to take the test over until he passed the test.
Oh, well, that's good, though.
No, it's not good. It's not okay.
No, it isn't okay. They just caught somebody. I don't know. Maybe it's North Carolina. I don't know what school it is, but the coach, the teacher, was teaching an African studies program that white and black students went to. All were football players, and they didn't go to class. They
studied
and
online.
they paid him. No, wait a minute. No. He's supposed to go to class. They handed him a paper. They paid him $12,000 for the summer. Now listen to this one. He has been charged with a felony because he took the money.
Larceny?
No. Felony meaning he took the money under false pretenses.
Oh, okay.
He said he was teaching a class.
What is the charge? Is it grand larceny?
No, I pay you for a job and you don't do it.
Okay.
He didn't teach the class. And so if he gets convicted, he'll go to jail for, I don't know, a year or whatever, have to pay a fine and the whole deal. But it was, to make sure the football players passed.
That's why
now
I
they're
moonshine
saying, well,
all the time. I'm never going to get caught.
Let's go to Tom of Pennsylvania. Tom, you've heard of James Mongrove, who played football at Christina's school. You've heard of him?
Yes, I have, because I live in East Stroudsburg also.
Well, while he was failing math class, so was I.
Right.
And he was playing every week.
A lot of quarterbacks are from Pennsylvania.
And I was
though.
riding the bench.
Joe Montana.
Hi, Tom.
Joe Namath.
Do I know you? Do we know each other?
You know who else from Pennsylvania?
That's a shame.
Joe Namath.
Joe Namath.
So, Tom, what happened to James Mongrove? I've followed NFL.
James Mongrove got a scholarship to Syracuse University, where he graduated after 4 years. And then I think he played for the Detroit Lions for a little while.
Oh.
He was a walk-on
I
and
didn't keep
got a job with the NFL.
Yeah. Well, while he was failing math class, so was I, and he was getting to play sports, and I wasn't. So.
Yeah, but you couldn't throw a football.
Of course I couldn't throw a football. It's not even the question.
But you were
So
a
he
good
went
field
to-
hockey player.
No, I was terrible.
He went to Syracuse and graduated. Now, my father-in-law went to Syracuse. My wife's grandfather went to Syracuse and was a doctor. And I think there's a scholarship in his name there and everything else. That's a good university. You think they pushed this
the
James
Orangemen.
Mongrove?
Well, they call them the Orangemen.
That's right. You think they pushed this James Mongrove through the school? You think they let him?
They had to.
go?
There's no other way to get through.
No
I
other
don't
way,
think you
James.
can spell his name.
It's a hard name,
Sweet guy,
Mongrove.
but dumb as not.
Hard.
Dumb as bricks.
All right.
Hard name,
Thank
Jim.
you.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Hi, Tom.
Thank you very
It's a
much.
tough school, though, Syracuse. Not easy to get through that.
No, it isn't. It is. Listen.
It's like an
they
Ivy League
definitely-
school. It really is, Syracuse University.
The reason why they lower the standards for athletes is they say that it is discriminatory, that these guys, and I guess women too, everybody, if they didn't lower the standards, they would not be able to attend the university. And they're there to play football, right? So they have this ability that they want. And so they use discrimination because, a high percentage are black kids now, but they did the same thing with white guys before sports was a majority of black guys.
Before they integrated it.
Of course. When you went to LSU or you went to, when I was a kid, Mississippi or whatever, they didn't have to study.
No.
You know, and there were no black people on the team. So it's nothing new. It's just stupid. And if you want to play football.
Well, they should get them help. You know.
They do. Oh, Christ.
But they really should work with them all the time until they.
They do.
Yeah.
They have incredible tutors.
I should have had a tutor. I really needed help.
To me, if you want to play football, if you want to play basketball, you got to study. And that's the price you pay.
Well, that's what I didn't want to study. I watch TV.
There you go. That's the price. That's the price you pay. And, you know, you can play at a junior college if you want to, or you can go ahead and be a pro and everything else. But why pretend that you're going to a university for an education?
Why can't they just play for the university and not go to school and they just...
to be honest, go ahead and play pro football. Yeah. Go play some semi-pro football somewhere. But now maybe
maybe they could work in the cafeteria and play football. You know?
Some small percentage, their lives change by playing sports in college.
Yeah.
And congratulations, we're all very happy for you. But I would rather see a team made up of guys that really have to study. I believe that's true at Duke. I believe it's true at Stanford. I know it's true at Notre Dame.
And Harvard.
They may have. Yeah, but that's a whole different deal. They don't give scholarships. You know that, right?
No.
The Ivy League does not give athletic scholarships.
Well, they're going to be killed when get out there on that field then, right?
No, they're going to work. They're going to work for people that are from Harvard. No, they have to study their asses off. They have to work. You're not going to go to Yale and play
football. But
when,
the Harvard football team and going up against, a football team that recruits people, they're going to get killed, the people at Harvard, right?
The only time they compete is in basketball. Every now and again.
Well, they play football too. I remember being up there in Boston. They would have football
but they don't.
Games.
They don't play any big. They don't play any big teams. They can't.
No,
they can't. The Ivy League cannot play a Division I team
because they would be killed, right?
Don't they just row on boats? Aren't they?
There is rowing. Well, Tommy Lee Jones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tommy Lee Jones was an All-American guard at 175 pounds for Harvard, and he was Al Gore's roommate in college. Did you know that?
Oh, I did know that.
And they played a game. It's called Harvard beats Yale 29-29. I think that's the name of it. It's a documentary about the Harvard-Yale game when the game was a tie, but it really was a victory for Harvard or Yale or whatever. And Tommy Lee Jones was in that game. So they among the Ivy League, it's a big deal. Let's go to Mark of Texas. Yes, Mark. Jay Thomas here. Hello. Go ahead.
Hey, how you doing, my friend?
Good.
Hey, you're absolutely right about that shit. These guys, you hear them talking after games and stuff. You almost need a Ebonics dictionary to listen to these guys.
Yeah, but it's not just them. You can't just say that about, and you really can't, because if you lived a long time, good and well at Texas before there was integration, those guys were all allowed a free pass up there at Texas.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, I'm actually from Connecticut, but I rerouted down here to Texas. But yeah,
right. And
but I know how. I live in Lubbock, and Texas Tech is like a professional team to the town in Lubbock, and
Absolutely.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's crazy how much it's around the football. We went through like 3 coaches in like 4 years down here.
And that cost you $12 million going through the coaches. You paid the coaches off and all. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, it's just crazy how much, the college sports is like, if they really want to play ball, there's a lot of guys that go to play ball to the training camps without going to college, and they make it in. Not everybody has to go to college to play pro ball, but it's just
but there is a I don't know what it is, but there is a thought that if they made college athletes live up to what your kids and my kids or any of us had to live up to get into universities, they wouldn't be able to do it, and that is a form of discrimination. And
Yes,
I think that is
I
total,
totally agree.
unadulterated bullshit. Bullshit.
Yeah. Well, my wife's son, for instance, he went to scholarship. He got scholarships through some for ASU, and he has to work his ass off. He had to keep his grade points up, and he had to work his ass off to keep those scholarships going. You know, and
But he's not a football player. He got scholarships
No.
for need. Yeah.
Yeah, for other things, but you know, he was in guard, you know, flag stuff. But you know, he still had to keep his. I think it was like 3.5 and above average. And
everybody knows that, and they let these guys go, and then you see them interviewed, and you go, "That's impossible."
Right, exactly. That's all
that guy is able to stand up in a history class and have a discussion.
Dictionary, but translate with these guys how they're talking. They talk like they're still on the street. You know.
Yeah,
it's just crazy. It's really nuts. But hey, one other thing I want to make mention to you. I was listening to one of your shows, you know, the reruns. You're talking about the Boy Scout thing there, the gays and the Boy Scouts, how they're doing away with them and whatnot.
Right.
You know, it's not, and I'm, you know, it's not so much the gay thing. Those are guys that fuck around with kids are predators. And Kevin could probably back it up on that. You know, the gay guy isn't going to go twiddling a little boy's feeling, you know, for enjoyment. It's the predators that do that shit. You know, that's my take on, you know, stuff like that.
So you think if a gay guy becomes a troop leader, the odds of him pulling on a little boy's penis are greater than if he is an upstanding religious...
Less.
Less?
I think a religious man would be more likely to fucking twiddle a little guy than a gay
Kevin, what do you think of that?
Well, I think he's absolutely right, because there'd probably be somebody that would be suppressing all of that, and you know, saying, "Oh, I'm totally, you know, that's not me. I would never do anything like that," and then they secretly do it, you know.
Right.
Now, the other thing is the gay kids, gay Boy Scouts. Now, look, I understand it's a problem for people, but let's say, you know, my wife and her girlfriend were the troop leaders of my son's Boy Scout troop. And I'm going to tell you now, these dads would come over there, and my wife and this really good-looking other woman were in these Boy Scout, they're in their leader uniforms, and it was hotter than shit. Now, I'm in the kitchen, you know, making food or something like, you know,
making a flambe.
Well, yeah, I'm in there doing, you know, my wife is showing them how to tie a lariat or make a chair or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And now...
And she's got Daisy Dukes on?
Now, does that mean that my wife and the younger woman that was helping her might do something with the kids because they're females and there's these little boy? I mean, I don't know. It's like if somebody's evil if somebody, it's a tough call. If somebody's fucked up, they're fucked up. That's all.
Right.
But,
that's what I'm saying. But it's more likely a guy not being gay is going to mess. I think it's going to mess around with. That's what I.
You know who was he may still be, William H. Macy. I don't know if he has any kids or not. He has been a troop leader for years and years and years.
Yeah, that's what you were saying the other day.
The little shorts and the little thing. And I think of Bill Macy.
I have so many friends that were Boy Scouts and who are also gay and that have left the Boy Scouts. They've turned in their badges and everything because they don't want to be a part of it now. But
if Bill Macy wasn't a big actor, if wasn't a famous actor, it would be really creepy to see him in the Boy Scout outfit, right?
Yeah,
and
I could see that. He's kind of scrawny looking and goofy looking.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, he was great. He was great in Fargo, though.
Oh yeah.
No, he's a great actor and a great guy, a wonderful guy.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, and it's
all right.
Just like, you know, I just get tired where gays always get pronounced to molesting children.
Well, now wait a minute. We had a guest on that said that a gay moonshiner would basically said would be killed.
And those are the guys that.
His name is Tim.
They're like in Deliverance, you know.
Yeah.
If you took the wrong turn, boy, it's time to drop those pants. You know, those are guys that would fuck you in the ass. The guys that are all anti-gay.
You're saying that. Wait a second.
You're saying that Tim Smith might be gay?
No. They're not gay. No. You're implying that somebody from the Moonshiners show on Discovery may ask someone to drop, may ask a man to drop his pants. I gotta hope that's not what you're saying.
I bet that's Tickle. I bet Tickle does
That's kind
that.
of what I'm saying. Those are the type
Sorry,
of guys that would
I'm
say
voting
that.
for Chico. I vote for Chico.
Shit,
Because
yeah.
he's been to
Well, you
prison.
know,
He's a felon.
those are the guys I think would say that. You made the wrong turn, boy. Time to drop those pants.
You made the wrong turn.
It's not gayness. You know what?
Still in the middle of the woods, and God forbid you.
Those are the kind of guys that would put a full-grown raccoon up their asses.
Yeah, through a glass tube, right?
Well,
yeah,
it would have to
a
be.
big glass tube.
You know those big glass things that cover cover candles, Christina. They're like a hurricane lamp. You'd have to put a hurricane lamp.
I'm telling you, you could just use a toilet paper dispenser, and it's cost.
Oh, you can't use
not for a raccoon. No, not for a
that's
raccoon.
true. Not for a raccoon.
Or maybe a baby raccoon.
You know what we ought to do? We ought to send.
Pedophile.
You know what? We ought to send Richard Gere a little taxidermy mouse chest.
No,
yeah, I'm sure he hasn't received a million
that part of the show.
taxidermies in the mail.
Thing with a mouse. Thing. I missed
she's
that
a
part
woman
of the
that
show.
you've got to go. What's her name? Her name
is Rachel Garcia, and you can find
Rachel
her
Ray
on
Garcia.
Etsy.com. Her name is The
go there.
Curious 13.
Etsy, ETSY.com for taxidermy.
Yeah, I caught the end of that. Yeah, I caught the end of that
mouse
interview
chest.
you were doing.
Mark, thank you very much. Thank you. Let's go now to Sarah, who was online too. Yes, Sarah. Go ahead,
Hi,
Sarah.
Thanks so much for having me on. I'm actually a first-time caller, but I'm from the same town and actually graduated from Texas Tech, the same town that the previous caller was from. And I'm calling about the college athletes because y'all are right on. I was an English and education major, and in the entry-level education courses, it was all football players that were put in there. They weren't majoring in education. They were just in there so they could take some easy classes and pass. And there was
but the weird thing is that did they pass the class?
I would be very surprised. They were always goofing off. They weren't participating. It was an elementary education course,
Right.
And they just, they were, I actually had spoken to some of them and they were like, no, we're just in here so we can pass because it's easy. And, that's their
So they would, you know what, look, that's okay. They could take all electives. Can you take electives for 4 years or 5 years? I don't know.
I don't believe you can do that.
You can only do that for the
4
first
years.
2, I think, and then you have to determine a major, and then all of your classes should be in your major.
Right.
It really is. I have 2 kids in college that have to study, and they both get scholarships. They have to keep their grades up to keep these merit scholarships up and all of that. And no, I think it's really bad. And last night, I don't think we saw, which was one of the greatest college games ever, I don't think we saw a lot of student athletes last night. I think we saw a lot of great athletes, but I don't think we saw student athletes.
Right.
And I think that is the NCAA allows it to happen, and it's really what will happen if they really make it college. It'll be great for the kids. It'll be great, and a lot of the guys will have to go to smaller schools, and they'll play football down, in a smaller school that is they'll have remedial colleges.
Right.
That's what they'll have. So let them go play at, Waxahachie, community college, and then go try to be a pro. If that's
I don't
what they
think
want to
that'd
do.
be a bad thing.
No, not at all. Not at all. So
I just wanted
all
to
right.
add that in. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sarah.
By the way, the Today Show is doing everything it can to become #1 again.
Oh.
And they put Bryant Gumbel on, and they put
Katie, Jane Pauley.
Jane Pauley they brought back.
What about the monkey?
Jane
Did they ever
Pauley.
bring the monkey back?
No, the monkey's dead. Jane Pauley, who is she married to this guy Trudeau? the
Yes, Gary
cartoon
Trudeau,
guy?
yes.
Never got him. Never understood it.
Well,
Wasn't
that was
funny.
kind of, 70s counterculture, Doonesbury, kind of a hip thing.
Really, still a big deal.
Yeah,
Still a big
Doonesbury is huge. These comic strips are huge, and they, they're international.
I like
Family Circus. Do you like that?
No, Gary Larson.
Gary Larson. Of course, I love him. Yeah.
I love him.
What about Blondie?
And
I dated a girl that her father drew Blondie.
No. But I'm reading this quote by Jane Pauley, and she's such a fucking square. She has a book out, how to like get more out of your life over 50, and she wears these dresses like she's, you know, an old lady. She said,
I always liked Jane Pauley.
The fast pace makes this experience go like a bat out of heck.
Ooh.
I know.
She said heck?
Yeah. That's her quote. That the show was so fast paced. It was like a bat out of heck.
Bat out of heck. Wow, she's
Are you kidding? Are you kidding?
She's dangerous. Jane Pauley was always dangerous. Like a moonshiner. Yeah, like a bat out of heck.
Hello, Mike. Line 1, Mike. Hello. Go ahead, Mike. Mikey.
Hey, Mike.
Hello?
Mike?
There he is.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike. Is your name Mike?
No, my name is Lee.
Lee.
Mike Lee, go ahead.
Hey, Timor.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Timor, what's going on over there, Timor?
Timor. Not much. I was just
The
calling
name
about...
hold on a second, Lee. Hold on.
Here we go.
The name like Timor, how do you fuck up Lee? Go ahead, Lee.
I thought he said Mike. I'm sorry.
What happened to you? Did you become a football player all of a sudden?
I played.
For Hofstra?
All right.
No, not for Hofstra. No, Hofstra lost their basketball.
All right, go ahead, Lee.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, you know, you're talking about football players and the fact that they don't go to class and things like that. I think that they kind of get a bad rap because at least they're playing on the weekends. It's baseball players and basketball athletes that have games on Monday, Tuesdays, Wednesdays that are never making it to class.
You're right.
And
because
so
they're on the bus traveling.
Yeah, so the way I look at it is, you know, they kind of get the bad end of the straw sometimes as far as because they at least go to class sometimes. And those guys get to skate out of 50% of their semesters every single, you know, time.
The baseball players and the basketball players.
Yes, sir. They play twice as many games, and they play them during the week, not during the weekend.
I was on the diving team in college, and I did I was an expert in the cannonball.
Do you think that they protect the baseball player and the basketball player like they do maybe at the big powerhouses they do, but do you think they protect them like they do the football players?
No, I don't think baseball players get protected nearly as much as football players, but basketball players at these big universities, I think, do.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? What's so weird is
do they test them for drugs?
No.
Molly?
Mm-mm.
And that goddamn Molly, aren't they?
I think that's against the law to test, to random test college and high school kids. That they try to test all the kids at my kids' high school or something.
Did they
my
really?
God,
what happened?
Oh my God! Well, the parents went crazy. They went nuts. My kids would never have passed. They'd have thrown them out in a minute. It's like a mushroom cloud when they open the door. You know.
Yeah.
My wife has a rule. They're not allowed to smoke in the perimeter of our home, in the yard or anywhere. Well, they walk a block away, you know.
My nephew's staying with my mom now, and he's upstairs in the room smoking pot.
Well,
and he comes down, and my mother's like, she doesn't know anything. She can't go upstairs. What's going on up there? Nothing, Grammy. Nothing's going on. And he's getting high upstairs. I know it.
Well, why is he there with your mother?
Because he has a job. He's paying my mom rent and stuff. So he's and it's good that he's there. I'm glad he's there.
He was in trouble at some point?
No, he's a young man. He's 25 years old. He's finding his way.
All right. Lee, thank you very much.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. And you're right, Jay. This is the easiest show to get on radio.
Oh, God.
Right.
That's
great. Thank you. Bing, bing.
By the way, Christina, you'll be happy to hear that Chris Brown may go to jail.
Good, finally.
Because he's still on probation for beating the shit out of
Rihanna.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, never Beyonce. Beyonce would not have that.
No.
I guess he assaulted somebody in Washington, D.C.
Yes, he did. And he also tore up some dressing room at Good Morning America. One of the morning shows, he went into the dressing room and went nuts. Remember that?
Yeah, they put him away for 90 days.
They did put him
and
away?
all that.
They didn't put
For
him
90 days. In a rehab.
in a rehab. Okay.
But he's going to appear tomorrow.
Ooh.
And if they say that he did this thing, he'll, now there's another guy. He didn't, and then she went back with him, didn't she?
Oh, that was the worst.
No, nobody
She's
was
back with him now?
No, nobody was happy about that at all.
Yeah.
Terrible example for young children.
You know what? The wife beater thing, the slapping the women around thing, man, that's weird. That is just.
I used to slap my first wife around.
Really? Love tap.
We were only married for a few hours, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I killed her.
If you have seen The Wolf of Wall Street, the guy that he sold bogus stock.
Right, yeah. It's based on a true story, isn't it?
No, he's still alive.
Yeah,
he sold the book, everything else.
Yeah.
I think he only did like 3 or 4 years or something. And he's out now and he gives inspirational speeches and makes a ton of money.
Can we have him on the air?
I would love to get it. Jordan Belfort, Christina.
Yeah.
I would love to get him on.
You would love to talk to him, yeah.
Yeah. I love these guys. You think they're going to go to jail for 25 years, right? He went to jail for like 4 or 5 years, and he's out giving...
Isn't Bernie Carrick out now, or is he getting out?
Bernie Carrick's been out.
No, he's
out.
I think he just got out, or is just about ready to get out. He's not out
He'll be
yet.
fine. He'll be just fine.
He was going to head up Homeland Security, you remember that?
I do. I thought he was a perfect guy. Look at his face. That'll turn a camel around right at the border. Yeah.
Camel
He'd have been great. Oh, absolutely. We don't go there. Look at his face. We don't go there. Here, I have so much here on.
The Jay Thomas Show. It's the afternoon show. We will say what you are thinking. What can I say? The guy's good.
It's the Jay Thomas Show.
Jay Thomas. Indy. Sirius XM 104.
That's a problem, but here's the tactic. Condom on pack and get crazy, prophylactic. Real loud and overcrowded on this small earth.
The president of Condomania will be here in a few moments to talk about the penis sizes by state. So stay where you are for that. Let's go to Kevin's nephew on line 2. Kevin's nephew, who's living in his grandmother's
what a delight.
Yes. Go ahead, Kevin's nephew.
Hello?
There he is.
Hello?
Hello,
Kevin. Winner.
Thanks for talking about me.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Say
No, it's
that.
okay. It's okay. It's okay. I like Grammy's house here.
Okay. Well,
Are
just
you
make sure you
stoned?
pick up.
Are you stoned
that?
up there? Are you stoned?
No, I'm a little paranoid right now.
I got you. All right.
have your
Now,
phone?
Kevin said you were trying to find yourself and get your life together. How's that working out? You're 25 years old. You're living with your grandmother in some little dingy rented room that smells like
No,
old
it's
person.
that house I grew up in. It's a beautiful house.
I'm sure it smells like old person.
No.
But how's that going for you?
Kevin won't give me the money to take the corpse stenographer school.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. That's so funny.
The corpse stenographers.
Court
stenographer.
You want to be a court stenographer?
Yeah, but I have to go to school and take a class.
I see. Well,
You're going to be a notary after that?
yeah. Listen, that is
I could be a
noble
notary?
profession.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
Reach
you
for
sure
the
could.
stars.
You don't even have to
You
take a
could-
class.
You
Get a
could
stamp.
marry people. Yeah, you get a stamp. No, you know what? That's actually a very difficult course.
What, the notary?
Very difficult. Yes.
No, you just have to. You don't have to do anything.
No. Yes, you do. It's a very difficult course. I'm telling you.
You know, there's just too many keys on a regular typewriter.
You would just want a stamp is all you want.
Well, no, that's why I want the stenographer typewriter, because it's only got, like, I don't know, a couple of keys on it.
Yeah, probably just like 4 keys, I think. That's it.
All right,
And they
Kevin,
give you
thank
a little,
you very much.
They give you a little suitcase to pull along with you when you go to court.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they do.
Oh, boy.
Grandma's calling. She's
gotta
listening to the show. I gotta go.
All right, see you later.
Bye.
There's your nephew. Do we have Nicole Donnelly on the phone?
Thank goodness.
Nicole is the president of Condomania.com. Welcome to the show. How long have you been the president of Condomania?
It's been almost 2 years.
Wow, congratulations. Kevin Meaney is listening. He is a gay man, and so condoms are a very big part of his life.
Oh, yes.
As you can imagine. Of course, the mental image, I don't want to really have for very long. I'm a straight man, and of course I believe in condoms also. But now, Condomania is dedicated to what? The spreading of condoms all over the nation, or is it a sales organization? What is it?
We have a website, Condomania.com, and it's our goal to make sure that people have the safe, pleasurable sex.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And different size condoms. You have
we've got over 100 different sizes of condoms.
100 different sizes.
Yes.
I would think there'd be small, medium, large. That would be about it.
And extra large.
There are different lengths and girths ranging from like 3 inches in length to 11.
Wow.
So,
Now, and you're online, so if you do have a small penis, it's a lot nice. If you do it online if you have a small penis and you do it privately, right?
Yeah, small condoms are our largest seller.
Can you return them?
Really?
No, but if you don't like them, we'll send a replacement. Yeah. We sell a lot of small condoms.
So you are America's, you're America's first condom store, you mean on the internet?
And in person. So Condomania was started in New York City, in Soho in 1991.
Okay. And you have the Lifestyles Snugger Fit condom. You
yes,
also
a very
have
good seller.
You have the Iron Gripper Snugger Fit condom.
Yes.
And the Trojan Magnum condoms.
Yes.
How much does the reservoir hold?
That's a good question. I guess it depends on.
Is it a teaspoon or how many could you fill
gallon?
it
up?
You know the group. Would you pull up the group 10cc? I'm in love, Christina.
Oh, 10 years after? No, 10cc.
No, 10cc.
10cc.
Pull up the group 10cc, and it's called I'm in Love. And you know what, Nicole? You're going to learn something right now.
Okay, I'm looking forward to that. Is that the
Well, is it?
You're going to learn something. You're going to hear a song, and this group only had one hit called
What
I'm
does
in Love.
10cc mean?
Well, it's the name of the group. She'll find it. I'm sure all these stations play it. Now,
I can imagine.
You've put out these 50 states by penis size. And how did you guys put together the? I get from the orders that you get. Is that how you did it?
It is. Yeah, we look at the length and girth and measure the size by that. We break down all the data by state.
So if I'm trying to order a penis,
I would be ordering
condom.
the penis, Jay. Okay.
No, if I'm trying to order this penis.
Oh.
So Kevin, when you get home tonight, measure up and see,
It's
where
about a
you fall
tablespoon.
on that.
So that
You're
was
so young and fit, on the inside.
Yeah.
10 cc's would fill up the reservoir then?
Yeah, about 10 cc's.
Okay. So
right?
she should know that.
Now, Christina has
you really should know that.
It depends on how much room your penis takes up in the condom, too, because there may be extra space at the top.
Right.
Right. Okay.
Before we go down the list of 50 states, Christina has an unusual fear that she'd like to share with you about condoms and spillage.
Okay.
Oh, I get, I'm always using them, but I get a little concerned if, something kind of leaks out, or I know that that's not supposed to happen, but, all
out of
the
the top.
sides.
She means out of the top.
No, I never meant out of the top. That's
You
only
mean-
when bitches are trying to get you, your money. That's when that happens.
No. If the condom breaks, that's bad.
Right, if the condom breaks, that's bad. But then I'm always in my crazy head. I'm like, well, what if there's an explosion down there and then it just starts leaking out from everywhere?
Leaking out from the bottom.
Yeah, around those.
From the
What are
base.
the odds of leaking?
That's like 1 in a billion.
And the sperm would be dead also once it hits the air, right?
No.
Oh, no.
No.
Really?
No, but the condoms, especially into the States, they're so regulated and tested. Every single run that comes into the States has to get tested by the FDA.
Are they tested by like a fake penis or something?
No, they do different tests on them. So they'll blow them up. And
By hand or by mouth?
by machine.
By machine, excuse me. I'm sorry. Sorry. That was
They
weird.
blow them up. They blow the condom up and they stretch it out as a test.
Yeah, they have different tests that they do, and so every run is thoroughly tested. We take a lot of phone calls. We've had an 800 number, since 1991, the same 1-800-9-CONDOM, and so, we get a lot of these different questions. We haven't had anything with condoms breaking usually. A lot of times they slip off, and that's because either the condom rolls up because it's too small for the guy, or
That's
it comes off. Yeah.
See?
Oh,
it
the
can happen,
rolling,
though.
the
It
rolling,
can happen.
yes.
If it's
Yeah,
rolling,
No, I would
then
think
there's
it would come
probably
off. No, it would come off
splooge
because
everywhere.
it's too big for the guy. Not
Right,
too small.
but still, there is that possibility of seepage
Okay,
that I'm concerned about.
Nicole, let me ask you this question. I knew this guy that the girl, she would put needles through the condoms.
That's what I'm talking about. Bitches be crazy. They want to trap
bitches
you.
be crazy, and and then you put the condom on, and then through the pinhole, the semen gets into the woman's vagina. Is that happening?
Yes,
that happens a lot.
Of course.
Well, I'm sure it's happened, but I mean,
to rich men.
Yeah.
So you just need a little bit of semen then, a pinhole.
Christina,
of
how
semen.
many condoms have come off and the guy had to help you dig them out of there?
Ew, none. No, that's never happened.
Really? That's never happened?
That's never happened. The guy helping me to do anything? No.
Well, can I say this?
That's like a dive off the guy and run into the nearest bathroom and handle it.
You might
yourself
throw
kind
open
of
your
thing.
mouth, but I have pulled a condom out of somebody's ass.
Well,
With your teeth?
No. Nicole Donnelly, by the way, who is the CEO of Condomania. What's really great? You are a published author, an entrepreneur, and a former professional snowboarder. What sort of championships did you win as a snowboarder?
Oh, I did like
Reservoir Run.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Yeah, X Games, big air, border cross, half pipe, slope style, all that fun stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're like a daredevil, and then I just don't understand how you go from pro snowboarding into the condom game.
Well, and you know what? An even weirder transition was a baby leg warmer company. And that's how I met the owner of the condom company.
That's not that weird of a transition.
Baby leg warmer company?
It's like baby arms, baby leg warmer, same thing.
Is that still your company, Baby Legs?
No, I sold it. I built it into a global brand and sold it. And I met the owner of Condomania in that time, and we ended up talking. And so I'm an owner now, and I got investors, and we bought the company from him.
Oh, wow. Also, her book that was published in 2010, titled "Ride Like a Penguin," is about your.
Is that about
your
condoms?
professional? No, it's about your professional.
I'm sorry. Excuse me.
There's a little bit of snowboarding, but it's a business. It's pretty much a business book with some, hint of snowboarding and living in my car's roughing it days stories.
Really?
And I love this girl.
Right.
She is like my personal hero.
Right.
Doing it. She's just doing it all.
And
so
now
for you
let's
guys
go
that
through.
I just want to tell you, the favorite condoms that we have now are naked. They come in 4 sizes. They're going to come in more, but they're pleasure shaped. So
what does
for
that
the
mean?
ladies, well, for the ladies, it means less friction in a negative way.
Amen,
So you-
sister.
Yeah.
Less
So I wanted to make sure
suction.
you knew about that.
What do you
What
mean
is
less
less?
suction?
Yeah, what does that mean?
What does that mean? Less suction.
Well, less friction. So
Friction.
the condom.
Oh, I
when
thought
it's
she said suction.
Friction. Less friction.
Okay, I'm sorry.
for
I have
the
an
ladies
infection.
and more for the men. And because it's like baggier on top and tight around the bottom, it's a pleasure shaped one, and they're pretty thin too. And so it mimics kind of the natural man. And so there's like less lubrication that's needed and less of that uncomfortable, because condoms kind of, it is usually better with some lube too.
Well, I really do.
The whole
I hate it
sticky
when
situation.
you're really in the middle of it and you start hearing. It's always bad.
Can you still buy
Start a fire.
condoms? Can you still buy condoms made out of lamb's intestines?
Yeah, there's, I think there's only one, maybe two brands left that sell those.
Because I love
lambskin.
I love
lambskin.
I love that feeling of the lamb around my penis.
What are you, that old? I'm allergic to latex kind of guy.
Yeah.
Wow. You know, I remember when I was in the Marine Corps, and we were out on a bivouac one night, and we were, been out there for days, and these sheep had backed up against a fence.
Oh.
I swear to God. And
really?
I
Just
don't
like
know,
that? It was a beautiful moonlit night?
And I said, I looked at one of the sheep, and I said, man, that reminds me of my girlfriend Debbie back home.
Yes. No.
Debbie was, the other guy said, that reminds me of, Carol. And the third guy says, I wish it was nighttime. So, that's the only sheep thing I know. So now let's look at this list. Mississippi comes in dead last. For the smallest penises, in the United States.
It's because we're making moonshine.
I just can't believe that. Really?
They order the most small condoms. That's how Condomania came upon that?
Yeah. Yeah, and there's different theories on that of the demographics that use condoms and don't.
Well, have you seen Brett Favre's penis? He showed it off to a girl when he played for the New York Jets.
And he's from Mississippi, right?
He sure is.
Yeah. Small little.
And it wasn't big, wasn't huge, if that was his penis. Hawaii comes in second. Well, those guys are so big, their penises look small, I think. I don't know.
Isn't that who's the guy, Tao? What's the guy's name that,
Monte Tao.
Monte Tao.
Tao.
Yeah.
Arkansas, Wyoming, North Carolina, Alaska.
What about the Cheney penis? How big is that?
Wyoming, small. Missouri, West Virginia, Indiana, Texas, Kentucky, Minnesota. We go up. Michigan's about in the middle. Delaware, Kansas. We go all the way up. And the top 10, New York is in the top 10.
Oh, thank God.
Alabama, Arizona, Ohio, Massachusetts, District of Columbia, South Dakota,
A lot of big
Rhode
dicks
Island.
in Washington.
The number one state for penis size is North Dakota.
I can tell you why. I can tell you why.
Go ahead. Tell me. I have an idea, too.
All right.
What is it? What's yours?
I think that they only got an order for one extra large condom out of North Dakota.
I actually have what I think is a real reason.
Okay. Well, I thought that was a real reason. But go ahead.
Nicole Donnelly, the president of Condomania.com, find out all their fabulous condom products and the list. North Dakota has had this huge oil boom. Right?
Exactly.
Oh.
And they have so many men from all over the world, the United States, Canada, everywhere, and they just have a extraordinary group of individuals that are there, and so they're probably they're bringing women in it. They can't even.
And there's a
find
lot of
women
prostitutes up there now, I guess, right?
Yeah,
probably.
So they have an inordinate amount of men. In a very small state that suddenly have gone in there, and they're ordering tons of condoms, and that's why you're seeing the large size condoms.
What about South Dakota?
Where is South Dakota in there? Oh yeah, it's third.
Oh, it's third. Okay.
Now you would say why Rhode Island second? Rhode Island, that's weird.
The biggest little state in the union.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of mobsters up there, and even though they don't have, necessarily big penises,
right.
They like to carry magnums in their wallet.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nicole.
Well, Nicole, you're a really interesting woman. You've had quite a career.
Are you married?
Snowboarder.
No, I'm not at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good for you. Stay true.
Yeah.
25 years in business, Condomania. And has quite a bit of data about penises if you're interested in that. So you just go there, and I'd like to order a big pack of Iron Gripper Snugger Fits. That's what I'm gonna
You know what? We have variety packs too. So we have the Japanese sampler pack is our number one seller.
What is that? The Japanese sampler pack? Does that
Yeah,
come
it's
with
a bunch
that
of
sushi?
Japanese brands that are pretty popular that you can't get just in regular
They must
stores
be very
usually.
small, though, right? The Japanese
wait a
penis is
No,
very
it's
small.
just the stereotype.
No, that's true.
We're gonna.
I've been to the gym. Okay, that's true.
We're gonna give you our address, and we'd like
Okay.
you to send us a Japanese sampler pack.
Ooh.
And we'll try them out for you. We'll try them out.
And we'll send you an anal lube sampler too.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
Christina and I go, thank you. Thank you.
So now, Nicole, I don't know what your preference is, men or women, I have no idea, but when you're sitting around and they go, hey, what do you do? And you say you're the president of Condomania, that's got to get kind of an odd, cockeyed look at you, right? No pun intended.
And like on an airplane, you're sitting next to the people and, hey, what do you do? What do you do? I'm a speechwriter for the Obama administration. Oh, I sell condoms. It's like, they're usually really interested in what I do.
Sure they are.
Now, are you guys, public or a private company?
Private.
Private. Is Trojan a public company?
I think they're private. Most people in our industry are private.
Because that would be a hell of a stock to buy, I would think, condoms. I mean it. I mean, it's one of those things that sells forever.
Yep. Always going
ever and ever. Yeah, always, right. I knew a guy that bought a rolling paper company in Canada. He owns Zigzag rolling papers. He may have sold it. But they bought it, and I'm playing it. He has his own private golf course. He's immensely wealthy, and I said, wow, rolling papers. He said, yeah, we were selling them for like 25 cents a pack, and we weren't making enough money. And so my partner and I said, boy, we got to up the price. He said, well, it ought to be 50 cents. He said, oh my God, that's 100%. They went to 50 cents. No one said anything. Of course not. They're rolling papers.
Yeah.
They went to 75 cents. No one said anything. A couple of years later, they went to $1 and then $1.25. He said, we were able to raise the price with no one complaining.
Wow.
And I would think the condoms,
you're not going to do it that. They're going to.
There's quite a competition on price with condoms.
Oh, yeah.
So we try to carry.
You never want a
amazing...
cheap condom.
No, you don't want a cheap condom. But if you order online, like there's some vendors on Amazon that can sell it pretty inexpensive, and I don't even know how they can do that just because I know what the cost of it is.
Could you get a drone to deliver the condom to you?
You know what? I'm not sure.
And then
Probably
have
if you
the
were
drone
close enough.
put it on your penis. That would be weird.
Now, you must get some crazy pictures of people putting a condom on and then trying to describe to you why it doesn't fit properly or something.
Yeah, or the shape and size of their penis. There's like that, because I don't know if you've ever seen one, but they have like ice cream cone shaped penises that are like small on the bottom and really wide up top. Yeah, we get all sorts of things.
Been there?
An ice cream cone penis.
Yeah.
Small at the bottom and very big. And now what about the ones that curve like Bill Clinton and them curve to the left and the right? You need extra, I guess
because they were in an accident of some kind.
No, but I mean they curve to the left and the right. Do you make them that are built for that kind of penis?
The pleasure shape would be perfect for that.
Yeah, baby.
A lot of grunting. I'm not comfortable anymore.
All right, Nicole Donnelly, Condomania.com. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye,
I'll send you
Nicole.
some products. Bye, guys.
Wow. Thank you.
She was great.
Jeff of New Jersey. Hello, Jeff. It's Jay Thomas.
I think it's Justin. Is that me?
Oh, yeah.
Justin.
Wait a second. Hey, Timbuktu back there.
Oh, boy. Don't.
Uh-oh.
What the hell's going on? His name is Justin. How can you fuck that up?
I could have sworn I heard Jeff. I could have.
My name. Say your name, please, Justin.
Justin from New Jersey.
I got the state right.
It's his first day here.
Yeah.
I tell you, it's tough. I've answered those phones before. It's very difficult.
All right.
By the way, you got to hear how I got my name. By the way,
You guys all make me look good. That's all I care
Timon.
about.
Your name's Timon. Timon.
It's Taman, and there's a story to my name.
Taman.
All right. Well, we'll hear your
Taman
story
Islands.
All right.
Go back to fucking up the phone calls.
I will do.
Go ahead, Justin. What's your question?
Well, I was going to ask the guest a question if there was like a correlation between penis size and the red state and blue state, because she did mention.
I know the answer to. I know the answer.
The smallest, and Mississippi's a red state, so possibly the reddest of the red states.
Yeah. They're real red. They're monkey ass red.
Baboon-ass red.
Bamboon-ass red, yes. Thank you.
I would think the biggest dicks would be Republicans.
You really think so?
No. Well, maybe.
You like that?
I bet Ted Cruz has a big dick.
I would say from looking at this list, it looks like it'll if you really looked at it, it would even out.
I bet John Boehner has a big dick.
Because you got...
No, I don't think somebody that spends that much time in a tanning booth is probably got a small dick.
I know Barack Obama has a big dick because I peed next to him, okay? So I know that for a fact.
I think it looks like to me it's even Steven. You know what I mean? It's even.
Yeah. All right, well, I was just curious.
All right.
Bye, curious?
Let's go to David of Philadelphia. Yes, David, it's Jay Thomas. Go ahead.
Yes, I just have a quick question for you. Obviously, Howard is the god of radio, but whenever Howard is not on, I put you on because, I like Jason Ellis. I like other people on Sirius, but...
You know what? I really can't discuss this. It's kind of like you're going to, say I'm so great and all that stuff. There's no one here that agrees with you. And so, there's no one in management that's ever mentioned my name in the same, except for the Friday morning show, which is what Howard did. Nobody here did it. So.
No, they're fucking retarded then.
Well, that's too bad. You can say that, but I'm the wrong guy to talk to. There is no.
Call management up. Call Craig up.
Yeah, everybody's got to stop telling the show that. You have to tell people that matter.
You have to call Craig.
Because
we can't go and say, hey, everybody loves us,
I'm just. Well, here's the thing. Every radio show, every announcer on Sirius XM goes in to the management and tells them how well they're doing, how good they're doing, and how everyone calls them and says they ought to replace Howard Stern or whatever. Every show, every single one of them. And we laugh about it in the hall. And I appreciate it and everything else. The management laughs at it also. They laugh at it also.
I printed out.
And so, if Howard were to leave, there would be a panic in this place that you could not stop, because they have no idea how many people would not subscribe. They have no idea how many people would stay or how many people would leave. So it's a panic. And I'll just give you
that would be a panic, yeah.
I'll give you a quick example. Howard makes $100 million a year, and people go, "Oh my God! Oh, that's so much money." He is responsible, they believe, for 6 million people at $14 a month. When you add that up, I think it comes to like $300 million or something like that, right? Mm-hmm. And so if he were to leave, and let's say 2 million people would decide to no longer subscribe, 2 million times $14 comes to a lot more than $100 million. And so they would be looking at a loss of a greater amount than Howard's salary. And that's how they look at it. There is not another announcer in the United States,
in the world,
or at Sirius XM that could replace him financially. And that's all they care about. That's all I would care about. And so when people say that, it isn't about are you funny or are you, it doesn't make any difference. It's about how much money. Well, no, but I mean, he's a phenomenon that can never be replaced.
Never.
And his popularity doesn't.
Well, maybe
wane.
Rowan, who's the guy? Farrow might challenge him.
Who?
Ronan Farrow.
Who's that?
Maybe Frank Sinatra's illegitimate son, Mia Farrow's, and Woody Allen's son.
Oh, you mean the asshole that's on MSNBC?
He's coming on, yes. It's going to be brand new. It's going to be big.
And he's already an asshole to Jay Thomas.
Oh, he's going to be, he's handsome, he's great, he's going to be wonderful.
There is no liberal anything that is going to attract anybody in the United States.
You just wait, Jay.
No, you know why? Liberals are boring. Liberals want to help people that I don't even want to fucking help.
Howard is liberal.
Not really. He's a libertarian.
Oh.
Big difference. He almost ran for governor as a libertarian.
Yeah, I remember that.
He's a libertarian. I think, he he's as liberal as perhaps I'm liberal or whatever, but I think if someone wanted to sweep the streets of all the homeless, fine with me. I don't give a shit. Fucking fine with me. If you want to take all the fucking dumb fucks.
You don't see many homeless out there today.
No, but I mean, when people go, why does
too cold to be homeless?
Why does Fox do so well? Why does Rush Limbaugh do so well? Why does Hannity do so well? People want to hear black and white answers. They want to hear, here's the problem, fix it, period. They don't want to hear, oh, we're going to pussyfoot. Like I'll tell you something that happened today. Only 6 Republicans voted for this. They extended the unemployment for 26 more weeks. The Democrats said, look,
we're going to party all night.
No, we have the highest unemployment, the most people out of work since the Depression, okay? And people need help. Only 6 Republicans in the Senate voted for it. Every other Republican said, yes, we're sorry.
Go get a job.
It's, it's
now, doesn't have to pass in the House also?
I don't know. $26 billion is what it's going to cost. $26 billion, okay? And so who did Barack Obama bring up there? He brought up a single mom with 2 soldier sons. And he had her say, without unemployment, and all that. Now, I feel sorry.
Down to 58 degrees.
I feel sorry for her too, and everything else. But there are people tonight that will be watching, and my brother's one of them, who will collect unemployment, who will be so angry that they extended it for a group of individuals that does not deserve it.
Why would he be angry? He's going to get it. Doesn't he? Is he on unemployment?
He can't, not now, but he has been. No, but he's a minority of people. He's a hard-working guy, and he's a minority of people that will
I know people, they live on that unemployment. Oh, I can't get it. I've never gotten unemployment ever in my life.
What I'm saying is it's a black and white thing. And so when you're talking black and white, people respond. And so that's that. So to replace Howard Stern, David, to answer, they'd be better off with Rush Limbaugh. If they put Rush in the morning where Howard is, we get another 5 million subscribers. I'm telling you. It's like you got to pick somebody who's got a bunch of people following them. And I've never had that, that luxury. I'd love to, but I don't have it or whatever it is. Just don't have it. But I appreciate it, and I love that everybody likes the show. But fuck, they call Pete Dominic in the morning and say, aren't you going to replace Howard Stern? I hear it. And you go, Pete Dominic?
I just worked with him this weekend at the
but he's a great guy, and he's a good
nice
announcer.
guy,
yeah, he doesn't have 6 million people.
And you said from a business standpoint, and obviously that is smart.
They will shit a brick when Howard leaves.
But
they won't know what to do. They won't know which wall to bounce off of, and they won't know what's going to happen.
Unfortunately, that's a reality, though. That's a reality.
Maybe not. Maybe people will go, I like Sirius in its entirety. They like the sports. They like the other shows. They like the music. Who knows? I don't know.
Well, they already know that anyway because they have people that just subscribe to Howard and then they get the rest of the service, and then they have people that don't.
I'm going to tell you what
Sirius and they don't subscribe to Howard.
I got hired, and there were 600,000 people that subscribed to Sirius. Okay. They announced that Howard was coming. And from the moment they announced it, he received credit for every person that announced that signed up after they. By the end of the year, we had 5.5 million subscribers. And he wasn't even on the air. Howard got a $50 million bonus before he went on the air.
Yeah.
That is his power. That's his power. And it's brilliant. And my agent, Don Buchwald, made the deal. And they sat down. They said, how many people are going to come with Howard when he comes to Sirius? And they picked a number, 5 million, 6 million, times 14. What's that worth? $100 million. Because you're going to make $400 million. That's how they made the deal. It's you and I, David, we can't imagine that kind of money or asking somebody for $100 million. At the end of the day, if only 3 or 4 million people had signed up, they still make a profit off of the show.
And he had a suit to get that, didn't he?
Oh, no. That was a whole nother, deal.
But it was
he and Don Buchwald.
No, not Don Buchwald. What's serious though? Didn't he have to?
Yeah, and we shouldn't really discuss that. But they really they had some internal battle,
right,
or whatever over.
I know it's been settled since, but it was taken care of.
It wasn't settled. Howard did not win.
But my only question is,
they get nothing by replacing him with someone that other people find interesting. They only make money if they replace Howard with someone who has a following as big as his.
Like Larry King.
Larry King.
No, I'm kidding.
No, like Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah.
And there aren't many people. Well,
they have to. There's got to be somebody.
Million.
There's got to be somebody young now, that's got to come through.
Not all 13 million will pay $6 or $14 a month, but half of them might.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I don't know, something like that. That's it. Okay.
Hey, I'm a huge fan, and Howard is God, and I just want to put that out there. Love you as well. Right. And I think you should replace him, if that is possible.
That's really nice. That's not going to happen, but thank you. Thank you very
much. All right. Baba Booey to you.
I don't. You know what else? I wouldn't fucking quit. I would never. I mean, if I made $100 million a year, the fire would have to start way in the back of the building before I ever left. It'd have to be licking my balls before I left the building.
Oh, maybe phony scrotum bag.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Let's go to David, who's in Nevada. Yes, David, go ahead. David in Nevada.
Yeah, hey, Jay and everybody there. Hey, you guys are on a great show. I don't listen to Howard. I probably will soon, but I really think you guys need to put a safety warning on your show.
A safety warning on our show about what? What is it?
Yeah, you need to have a safety warning. Like the other day I was going down the road and I heard about the woman who had the cookie in her snatch, and I was laughing so damn hard, my Freightliner, I think, ate a smart card because I couldn't see from the tears in my eyes.
All right, well, there you go.
Yeah, you guys need to have a little saying that goes like, this show may contain ultra hilarious, hysterical laughter and may cause choking of food, so be careful.
Or soda out of noses. We've had soda out of noses. We've had that. Christina doesn't remember it, but
granola bar through your nose, man. That
Christina tickling her twat with a French fry.
I remembered it after the show. I was like, when did? Yes, I did say that.
Yeah,
I'm still picturing that.
Yeah.
Who
isn't?
All right.
Who isn't?
Could
David?
you
Let's go to
do
Lou.
that again with the French fry?
Let's go to Lou, who is in Orlando. Yes,
those
Lou,
aren't blues. Those are Lou's.
Happy New Year, guys. Hey, I'm just curious. I can't see them spending money on Martha Stewart or Oprah because 90% of talk radio, not music radio, is male listeners. So where do you get they're going to pull in an audience of women? I'm married. I have 2 daughters. I have never once in my life heard them come up to the car and put on a talk radio, anything talk. It's always music, whether hip hop or whatever, but it's not talk. And so they wasted their money with the Martha Stewart and Oprah, in my opinion.
I like Oprah and I like Martha and I loved Rosie's show.
They certainly may not have a following like Howard. Nobody knows what the numbers are, but they have a following.
But they're good. It's good programming.
Not your wife. Yeah.
How come they can't have the numbers? Because I have to put in a code to get my radio signal from Sirius. They should be able to see at moment by moment who's listening to what, so they know how many people are listening to what show.
No, we don't have that. That would cost. I talked to people about it, and that type of technology would cost millions and millions of dollars, and it's not even. It's not, not accurate. Listen, for terrestrial radio stations, they have this people meter that they give to like in LA, they give 2,000 people, and if you're in the mall and you have the people meter on and the shoe store has the Christmas station on, they get the click for your listening to them. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, Howard gets you have to subscribe to get Howard, so at least he's the one show on the whole system that how many people are willing to pay money for that show. They should charge Oprah or Martha and see there's 4 people listening.
Well, you don't know that. We don't know that.
Well, I think they should give all the money they're giving those two to you.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it.
Everybody loves you, Jay.
Yeah, well, the ones that listen.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
Well, think about it. I would have trouble insulting this group because they're already fans. The people that hate me have already tuned out.
Yeah. Well,
And the people that need to be listening are not.
That's exactly right. And
Maybe
you know
they'll tell
what?
their friends.
There is just a reality to fame and show business that is real. It's almost like I said that my son, maybe we're off the air and we talked about religion and did my kids think about it. And I said one of them does and enjoy studying history and religion, but another one.
I just brought that up because this is off air because of your passion for religion and how much. And you're a student of religion and you always have been.
They don't. No. When I stop everybody and go, hey, listen to this, and I read, something from one of the myriad of magazines that I have about history or whatever, very seldom it gets like a nod or a polite,
Well, I'm always fascinated when you bring it up. So
I know you like it, but I had one son.
I'm a dirty, shameful man. That's why
he was into astronomy. And he was really into it and studying and taking it in school and everything else. And he said, I said something like, well, I don't really believe in a supreme being. And it's funny, and then he said, there's so many things that went on. And there's so many coincidences about how after the Big Bang Theory, iron and water and nitrogen and things that were needed for life came together in a precise way. And that the earth was made in such a precise way that my son said, it really makes me wonder about a force, a supreme type being, force like that, right? And so what that does is it makes me, that force is kind of like what entertainers have, like Howard, and like there's just a special force that hits them that a lot of us can try to imitate and everything else. It just, this, Kevin.
I know, yeah.
Great comic. And we can't explain it to her. It drives people crazy. It makes guys kill themselves. It's a weird thing. I'm terribly unhappy that I'm not considered a bigger deal by the people that I work for. And by the way, never in
so am I?
No, but wait a minute, never. In the 35 years I've been in radio, have I ever been told I'm not the hottest thing where I'm working or whatever. And so it's odd for me. So no matter where I was, even if I got beaten the ratings or whatever, I went right to another station right after or something like that.
Like right after you left Buffalo, Depew, you were back in business.
I went to L.A. I went right to L.A.
Yeah.
So that's disconcerting.
Yeah.
But we'd probably be better served, on a terrestrial station or whatever, but they're not doing that. They're doing right-wing stuff. So I think I'm very conservative.
I bet down in Florida, you just have a big market in Florida with all the old people.
Would do that. I would pretend I was right-wing. I think that would be fun.
Yeah, that would be fun.
I replaced G. Gordon Liddy. Oliver North.
Yeah.
They asked me to replace them for a week. Was it Ollie? One of those guys, right?
Well, they both had radio shows.
I pretended that I was right wing. Somebody at Westwood One wanted to hear me on the air, and it was so fun to pretend. And when guys would call up, and start, espousing about, guns and I was right in there with them. But if you were really listening, you knew I was like shitting on the guy at the same time. And I remember the vice presidents coming in to listen, and they said, it's funny, it's really funny, and we appreciate it, but we're not going to do it. We won't do it. And that was it. Because I really couldn't be right wing. I could kind of, and I'd talk sense to them. I'd try and talk a little sense. You can't do that. You have to look, Dennis Miller does it. They call up and they go, thank God we have a man of God what about George Bush, a man of God in the White House. And Dennis Miller's right there with him going, yeah, hallelujah. I almost drove into a tree. I couldn't believe it. I don't know if he was always like that or he decided that's a great way to make money. When you see him with Bill O'Reilly, it's
that's a cottage industry now. I mean, that is not that they're bringing in as much money as a Broadway show. When Bill O'Reilly and Dennis Miller go out on a tour,
it's huge.
To do a concert, I mean, it is huge. I mean, they're selling out stadiums, huge venues, 10,000 people.
Bill O'Reilly has 3 best-selling novels, and they're making movies out of them. You know, The Death of Jesus, The Death of Kennedy.
Killing Jesus, Killing Kennedy.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's it's absolutely.
And with Dennis Miller has an act. He has a comedy act. He's a stand-up comedian. He's one of the great stand-up comedians of all time. He really is.
He would never do it, but you would do. O'Reilly would be a better replacement if Howard left.
Mm-hmm. O'Reilly is huge. He is huge.
Yeah. Now, I think if
he makes sense. And O'Reilly actually is probably less conservative than Dennis Miller is.
And O'Reilly isn't so much funny as he'll say enough things that are normal that you can watch him, right? The guy that's amazing to me, and who I don't do a show anymore, but I did, is Hannity. Is just, a Catholic, and he has people on, and he really
homosexual.
I don't know about that, but he says really weird and crazy things that there are Arabs that are coming in from Mexico because the Mexicans sneaking across the border, the Arabs look like them, and they don't know that they're not Mexicans. And I'm thinking, you're such a fucking idiot. But, people are buying into that shit. So, I would definitely have a more conservative act. I do this for money. I do this to make a living. I don't give a fuck what my philosophy, whether it's accepted or not. I don't care.
This isn't really who you're really not Jay right now. No. When you go back to the wife, you're somebody totally different.
Oh, Jimmy.
The wife, I'm scared to death of my wife.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
My wife says shit to me all the time. What was that? No, nothing. I didn't say that. I didn't say it. What happened?
I didn't say it. Loving you.
I didn't do it.
Loving you.
What happened?
Missed you all day.
Karen, it's Jay Thomas. Yes, Karen? Go ahead.
Calling in today.
Hello. I'm so glad to talk to you guys.
Hi, Karen.
Hi. So I wanted to find out, several months ago you interviewed Sue, who was doing a show called Life Below Zero. Do you remember that interview?
No.
Life Below Zero?
Yeah.
Oh, she's the Alaskan woman, the woman that has a show.
Yeah, she's living above the Arctic Circle. So I'm guessing you never watched the show to follow up on her.
No, is she dead?
Oh no. She is quite the trip. In fact, when you were interviewing her, you were so taken by her overwhelming personality that you even offered to come up there and visit her, and she shot you down immediately, which intrigued me. So I had to watch the show, and she's amazing. She is quite the cut up.
Well, she's a big dyke.
She absolutely is, but I'm telling you, it doesn't.
I just thought I'd throw that in there. Throw it in there.
Wow.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Nothing wrong with that
Absolutely
at all.
not.
No, she took great offense at me wanting to come up there and keep her warm in her
This
igloo.
wasn't the chainsaw girl.
No.
She had moved to a shack or something in a little tiny
Sounds
town
like the
with
Unabomber.
people or whatever. So, all right.
She ended up buying that camp that she was just working at. She ended up buying that camp.
Wow.
And
So now you're a big fan of the Life Below Zero now.
I am because of your show.
Are you going to move up there?
Thank you.
Meet her?
No, I get plenty of colds. No, I'm good. Thank you.
Become a lesbian?
All right. By the way,
make some moonshine.
For the first time ever, I believe the temperature in Chicago and Detroit is colder than either one of the polar caps right now.
Yeah. They've been
I heard
saying
that today. So
That's right.
Karen, thank you. Thank you, Karen, very much.
Love you
Thank
guys.
Thanks.
A lot of
let's
women
go to
calling
Steve.
today, Jay.
Steve of California. Yes, Steve, go ahead.
Hey, Jay, how you doing? First of all, I'm telling you, I really enjoy your show. You do a great job, and you're selling yourself short in terms of your work to the station. As far as Howard...
I'm not selling myself short. There is a reality that most people don't deal with in their own lives. And I pride myself, even though it's negative sometimes, and even though it's hard for me to hear myself say, there is a reality in this business that I have to deal with, and so does Kevin. If I want to become a writer or a novelist or something else, then I should go ahead and do that.
Zambonis and meatballs.
Well, let's
go to something else. But in this incantation, I know the rules right now.
I hear you, but let's agree to disagree. But to the Howard point, you know what? You know, Howard's great. I've been listening to him forever. You know, and you talk about the panic that's going to ensue at Sirius when he's no longer in the building. I've got news for you. He's not in the building now. What does he do? 108 shows a year, barely?
Doesn't make any difference. His reruns.
And all he does the rest of the year is replay them over and over and over again.
Right.
And actually, I will tell you that the fact that he's never on the air, and when he is on the air, he's complaining about the fact that he has to get up early in the morning and tape a show the night before, God forbid, is why more people like myself are listening to you. Because we want to hear original content by somebody who's good.
You know what? Listen, the reason why he's the king, that's how kings talk. When you watch all these old movies, right, Kevin?
Yeah.
The king is complaining about...
You think you're going to change
But Jay is the dictator of all media.
You know what? I'm the Duke. That was the guy that wiped the king's ass with a little silk napkin. Thank you, Steve.
I could do that.
I know. I'm hearing it. It's not helping me any. Christina, you want me to take a break?
No break.
Oh, don't worry about it? You want to go at 50? We got 4 seconds.
Yeah, we got 4 seconds.
So go.
Now you got a minute.
Oh, now I have a minute.
Yes.
Oh, I got you. Mike in Delaware. Mike, you'll be the last caller. You have less than a minute. Go ahead, Mike in Delaware.
Hey, Jay, I just wanted to say, I got a lot of respect for you, and I have a lot of respect for Howard and for other...
Make this fast, would you, with all your fucking respect? Make it fast.
Well, I'm just saying, you're talking about Bill O'Reilly and all these other fucking assholes. The thing is, you may clown around, and kid around how, you call yourself an asshole and this, that, and the third. But the thing is, there's a lot to be said about your honesty. And these pieces of shit...
Well, no, I will tell you something. Rush and O'Reilly and Hannity believe in their message. You're correct about that.
Well, the thing is, they're a hypocrite.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, no, they are.
Maybe. I don't know.
I wouldn't
Maybe
try.
you know what? Maybe Mike, they're very rich. They're very rich hypocrites. I buy